Hello? is it working? Hello? Oh my gosh! Hold on. Alright, I'm gonna change that. Hello, everybody! Wow! We're back! Wow! Hello! I'll go ahead and introduce myself. Hello, everyone! My name is Soni! Yippee! Thank you all for coming to stream today. It's been a while. And we have a lot to catch up on, so I'm very excited. How are you all doing this fine Saturday, Monday, depending on your time zone? I have to fidget with my model a little bit. They moved the little watermark now. I can't hide the watermark as much. Okay, I do have background. Yippee! 1 second to get adjusted. Okay, I think that should be a little better. Yippee! Hello, Misfits. Hello, Brendan. Hello, Knives. Hello, Vivi. Woke up in the afternoon for the first time in a while. That's a nice feeling. Doesn't get to happen all the time, so. Excited to enjoy Soni stream while I edit video. Ooh, what kind of video are you editing? Nice, nice. Welcome back. Thank you, Misfits. Thank you for the welcome back. Wait. It's been such a long time. Okay. Calibrate. Don't smile so that it doesn't take my smiling. Guess. If I had to guess, it has something to do with Wotage. Taking a sip of my water. Wow, so let's talk about some of the new things that you guys saw. So, you guys saw the loading screen. Wasn't that so cool? Oh my god. So, how long has it been now? Maybe a couple weeks now. I posted some pictures of the figurine that Dan made of me, and that figurine is what you see on the waiting screen, and it is so cool, so cool, and it's such an honor to have a figure of my VTuber, and so that is me up on the screen. Wow, big props again to Dan for actually like making the figure. We had been talking about it for a while, and then like he like full sent it on making the figure, and all of a sudden it's done, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Please go check out his work. He does incredible work with cardboard. I think the figures are made out of cardboard, fabric. He does the skeleton by hand. He does the design. He does the construction, and then the photography all by himself. It's really crazy what he does. So go support his work. I just want to keep staring at that loading screen. It's just so pretty. And he was actually the one who suggested the idea. He was just like, oh, look at this. I just recorded your figurine like posing because I think it'd be a really cool loading screen. I'm like, oh, Dan, you are a genius. and so he re-recorded it so it could be in better quality. And then he was the one who added like the loading part and then the decoration part. So cool. So cool. So if there's a waiting room, then there must be an ending screen too. Ooh. So that's something to look forward to at the end. And I really like the music that I chose for it. I like the feeling of just being very calm, but also just like enjoying the moment, reflective. And I feel like the music and then the way that he, like the video that he had, like really gets that. And if you guys also look at the thumbnail has a bunch of fan art that has been made of me over the past year and a half, maybe a little over a year and a half since I started streaming. And I just want to say it makes me so happy to see that people like put the time into drawing my VTuber and really bringing her to life. And so I really wanted to showcase the art. And so thank you again, artists. I love your work so much. Thank you. It makes me so happy. And so today my plan was to just talk about some of the things that I've done in the past 2 months. So one of the reasons why I decided to take a hiatus from streaming was because in April I was planning out the next couple of months because I knew that there was going to be a lot happening. And I was like, I need to really focus on these things, or else when everything happens, it may be really difficult because everything's happening at once. And so I needed to prepare for a lot of things. And so that's why I had put a hiatus on streaming for a while. And so we'll go into some of those things because a lot of them were fun things. And so I've done convention recaps in the past. I've done event recaps in the past, and I love just yapping about the really cool things that I've seen. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Slice of life vibing. Yeah, I guess slice of life is just the best way to describe the vibes that I like. Very slice of life. Yapping is really fun. Yep. It's just gonna be a lot of yapping today. I only did the 5-minute vocal warm-up because I was already late, and I'm like, oh shoot. Let's see if I warmed up my voice enough for all the yapping I'm gonna be doing today. I also have a new like desk setup, everything. So I wonder, hold on. So that's why I feel like my model, I feel like my camera is capturing my model a little better, but I'm still trying to figure out where to put the video camera. I think this should be okay for now. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go over hello. Dang it. it seemed like all my the audio connections had reconfigured itself or something, and so it wasn't connected. Dang it! What background music do I have? Okay, perfect. Yes. So I had moved recently, and so I'm in a new location. I have a new desk. So the keyboard, actually, so you guys know my old keyboard. Love this old keyboard. It's so cute because it's white and green. It's actually right here. Can you hear it? This is what it sounds like. I love this old keyboard. But the friend, it's a little dusty, but the friend who made this keyboard really loves making keyboards for other people. And I'm like, that is an expensive hobby and gift. However, I love it. I love this keyboard so much. I love this keyboard so much. This one it was funny. This one was a gift from Offkai last year. Now this one's a gift from this year at Offkai. And I'm like, dude, are you sure you don't want me to pay you back? And you know, like, I understand when you spend for a hobby and you're just like, this is my hobby, just let it be. And I'm like, okay. But at any moment, I will send money to you. But he made this keyboard. And so it's the light pink and blue, and he was just like, well, I wanted to match your VTuber colors a little bit. And I think it's really funny because like this is the second time that blue has popped up for my design. My VTuber is very monochromatic, and so it can be very hard to try to get like a color scheme that matches. And so seeing the blue, I think really adds to the color. So it's so cute. I really love it. I love the way... Wait, can you hear it? I love the way it sounds when I'm typing. This one doesn't... the keys don't slide quite as fast when I press down on it. Oh, I hope I'm not accidentally triggering... Okay, I'm not. Yeah, this one's really nice to type with and super cute. It's funny, I've always had this, but actually I kept this at work. But when I switched jobs, I took home everything. And so I also have this desk mat that I have decided not to use on here because I want like a firm surface to write on. But the wave is so cute. Soni! Hello, Creation! How are you doing? I hope you're well. Then the blue then technically like connects this one too. So it looks really nice. So thank you again, friend, for this keyboard. It's a beautiful keyboard. I love using it. I will continue to use it. Let's move this out of the way. I'm very, unfortunately, in this, like with this desk. So this is like the end of the screen. There's about this much more of desk space left on here for me. And so there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of space if I want to do like more crafting and stuff. And so I'll figure out a way to do it. But for the time being, this is a good amount of space. I am struggling, but a Soni stream is like a beam of light coming down to save me. Oh my gosh. Curation, I'm wishing you the best. We're gonna do a good luck beam on the count of 3, okay? I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna go beam! Let's send Curation some good vibes, okay, everyone? Ready? 3, 2, 1, beam! Good luck, Curation, you got this! Eevee! So I have this nice sheet of paper here. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Honestly, the more vibes we can bring together, the more likely that our beams will make it and then make things better for background music. What happened to my background music? See if I can fix this. Has it been off this whole time? Sweet. I'll set these here for now. Odd. I think the background music. Oh, it's not even working here. Ah. Okay. This is something, I don't know if anyone has tips for this, but this is something I've been struggling with. If something breaks and I use like a... If one of these sources breaks and I use the same one for multiple screens, then it will, like, if it dies, then it dies. For all of them. Sorry, that must be really loud. That better? I have no clue. That's streamer tech. Yeah. You'd think that I would put in the timeline. BGM a little loud? Okay. Still loud. Where did I have it before? Here? Let's give it a little... Better? Okay, good. Very good. Oh, actually, I think the balance is really, really good. Okay. Wow. Never get that right on the first time. Yippee! Okay. So I think the timeline was end of April. April. I have to actually check my calendar. Did I have anything in April? It actually doesn't look like it. Oh! I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters. That's worth writing down. Let's do it. I can... there we go. Lower that down a little bit. Revenge of the Sith. Theaters. My god, was the dialogue so bad. So bad. I can't get over how bad it was, but it was still really fun to see all the action scenes on screen. Oh, I also know what I was prepping for. I was making a cosplay. And that's because in May... Well, April, I thought April shower, so I chose this color, but let's do just plain old green in May. So at the end of April, I was making a cosplay because I'm like, I don't think I had a specific event that I was going to that I needed to stop streaming so early. But May, I knew was going to be. And so then the first weekend of May, that's when I went to Disneyland. Disneyland. How do you draw a Ferris wheel? No, wait, that's Carnival. There we go. That's a little Ferris wheel. So it was my first time going to Disneyland since probably over 10 years, maybe 15 years. I feel like 15 years is a little pushing it, but definitely over 10 years. And so I hadn't experienced the park. I don't remember the park that much, but also there was a new attraction that was added since then, which was the Star Wars. And that's specifically what I went for. I went for the Star Wars celebration that they had. And so I think all throughout the month of April, they had specific days that were part of this like Star Wars event. But the culmination of that was actually on May the 4th. May 4th. This was May the 4th. Eh? Hello. Focus. There you go. May the 4th be with you. And they had added Star Wars Land and yeah, and so they had this specific event, and I had never been before, my friend had never been before, and so we were going in not really expecting anything. And it ended up being really cool because since Star Wars is a lot more mainstream now, there's a lot of people who are into it. And that makes it fun because when everyone, like the vibes are there, when everyone's super excited to be there and super excited to see everything. So it was really cool to have like a higher concentration of Star Wars fans in the park at that time. Disney! Oh, nice. I've never been to Land, but I went to World when I was much younger. I have been to World, actually. And I don't remember if this was my opinion or maybe my parents' opinion, but they were like, Disneyland is better because everything is more compressed versus the World, everything sort of, I'm using my hands right now, everything sort of like spread out at Disney World. And so I do know that the Disneyland in Anaheim is known to be like one of the better parks. Yo, hello Snooey! Welcome back to stream, it's been a while. Oh, I heard it's really fun. It was, so how it worked is that you bought your pass to the park, and then on top of that, you had to buy the pass for the evening. Because what they did is, so we thought the park was supposed to shut down at 6 o'clock in the evening so that all the Star Wars festivities would start. But they actually like kicked all the non-Star Wars people out at 8 o'clock, which is a little bit late considering that the park closed at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. And so that's about like 5-6 hours depending on how late you stayed. I ended up leaving at 11 because I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain because of my shoes. But I'll go into that in a second. I actually, hold on. I can show my cosplay pictures. I don't have my face covered in any of these. Hold on. I did censor them for... I did censor them to put on my... Oh. I'm just gonna do a quick censoring job. But I'm actually really happy with how the cosplay came together. It was very cool. Oh, I do have one. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, let's see if I did this right. Yeah! Yeah. Okay. Ready? I think I have to turn off my camera in order for this to show. I wish that wasn't the case. Hold on, maybe I can fudge this a little. Ta-da! Eevee! Okay, so this was my cosplay. I made the shawl by hand. I happen to have a hoodie pattern already like printed out and everything because I had made a hoodie in the past. It was actually a Gengar hoodie because I did a Pomu cosplay with a Gengar hoodie. And so I used that same hoodie and I made it into this little half shawl. The character's name is Barris Offie, and she is a character from the Clone Wars. She is a Jedi Padawan and Ahsoka Tano's friend. Ahsoka, most people know who Ahsoka is now because of her like live series and such. And unless you've seen the Clone Wars, you don't really know who Barris is. And so I wanted to cosplay Barris because I always thought I liked how she stuck to her morals. So it wasn't something that I like. Her decision to, spoiler alert, her decision to betray to betray the Jedi Order and frame Ahsoka I think was done because she really felt like the Jedi Order wasn't doing the right thing. And eventually, like, because of that, then Ahsoka got kicked out, and but that ended up being where like Ahsoka ended up being alive because she got kicked out of the Order, and so it ended up working out in that way. And so I feel like that kind of serendipity, even though it was because Barris was doing like a hateful act, it like worked out in that way. And it's funny because she was very much a character that follows the rules and really like put all her energy and work into whatever that she, and I admired that a lot, even if she did make some like bad choices in her life. And so I really wanted to represent her. I also thought she was just so pretty. Her and her master, I love the design. Myriadon? I think that's what their species is called. And it's funny because the morning of Disneyland, I had looked it up because I'm like, I need to know this information just in case like someone brings it up and I don't know what it is. And lo and behold, someone did bring up her species name. And it was a Disneyland attendee, and no, it was a Disneyland worker, and I'm like, whoa! I expected an attendee to mention something about it, not a worker. So, but that was really cool to have someone there who's like super into Star Wars and representing on the side of the employee. But yeah. Here's another. That's another view. My eyes look very severe in this photo. And I think it's really funny because I think it matches really well with the aesthetic of the character and what I was trying to go for. Yeah. So I'm pretty proud of how the cosplay turned out. a couple people commented on my cosplay as I was walking around. Like some people were like, I don't know who you are, but you look cool. And then other people were like, I know exactly who you are, Barris Offie. I think you look really cool. And I'm like, yeah, you know who I am. Good time. It was a good time. Oh, I was able to take a picture with an Ahsoka. Look at how cute that Ahsoka is. Oh my god. So it's her season 7 Ahsoka, last season Ahsoka. Technically this is out of order because then the last time Barris and her met would have been in 5 or 6. Actually, I don't remember the timeline exactly. But I really wanted a photo with her because I'm like, this is Barris and Ahsoka. They were best friends. I actually have a picture where I was able to find the Ventress. And the Ventress had her like 2 lightsabers with her. And I'm like, can I please hold them? And she was pretty taken aback by my request. She was like, she was hesitant. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay if like you don't want to. It's just that my character... it's canon in the show. She steals your lightsabers and then tries to kill other people with them. And she ended up letting me hold the lightsabers. I'm like, I'll be really careful. Because as I was going through the park, I realized that there were two different types of lightsabers that people were using. And so the first type was the one that you can buy at the park. And it's like the $200 one. That's the one that everyone talks about, the one that everyone wants. Let me go ahead and turn off the autofocus. All right, I turned off the autofocus, so hopefully I can do this and it doesn't keep going. Wait. And so like $250 for a lightsaber, which you're like, that's expensive, but it must be a good lightsaber, right? Wrong. So a lot of people had that one because it's something that you buy at the park and it's something that you really want to get because like, oh my god, I can build my own lightsaber too. And so it's super exciting. However, they say that they're combat ready, but they are not really combat ready. They can't handle too much force, and they're also limited with their like the lighting and the sound on the actual lightsaber. And so what I learned is that if you actually do want to get a lightsaber, get a $600 plus one. And $600 sounds absolutely insane. But I was actually lucky enough to be able to wield, like I had Ahsoka's like dual lightsabers because a friend of a friend owned a pair and then let me swing them around. It was the coolest feeling in the world. I wanted to be a Jedi so bad when I was a kid. And so like you're swinging this lightsaber around, right? And it makes the vroom 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 noises. And the one at the park does that, but there's just so many more capabilities with like the 600 plus ones. Oh my god. I really wish that I had one of those kind of lightsabers when I went into the park. And it's really funny because, hold on, there is a picture. Oh, okay, I can actually upload this one. I also think it's quite funny that my hoodie does sort of have like a point at the top. So it sort of looks like I'm a gnome. And I'm like, I'm not a gnome. Refresh. Okay. Boop. There we go. Have you practiced any lightsaber styles? Might come in handy for Wotake. I think you're right about that. So when I was wielding the Ahsoka lightsabers, well, okay, they're so much longer than a pen light, which makes them really hard to wield. But I did do Taekwondo for a little bit, and I was wielding some of the like the short sticks that they have, but also like a big staff. And so I was trying to use some of those techniques when I was wielding the lightsaber. they're also heavy. And so if you tried, it'd be impractical to use them for wotake. It would be better to just sort of practice wielding them around so that you look cool when you do it. But yeah, it's along the same lines where you have this glowing stick in your hand and you're like, okay, how do I use this? Clout ain't cheap. It is not cheap, but honestly, it is so worth it. And so if you look at the picture, I noticed that there is a difference in the lightsabers. So if you look at the very tops of the lightsabers, some of the lightsabers that you see in this image, they have like a little like plastic piece at the tip. It's how they do like the roundness at the end of the like the blade of the lightsaber, and light doesn't come through at the top. And so if you look at the ones that sort of have that point and the light doesn't go through all the way, those are the lightsabers you can get at the park. So those are the $250 one. But if you look at the red lightsaber in the back that's sort of pointing like up, you can see that the light actually fills in at the very top. So that one is one of the $600 plus lightsabers. And it is a nicer lightsaber by far. So my recommendation, do not get the lightsaber from the park. Invest in a better one. But it's still cool nonetheless. This picture was taken in front of the castle because one of the events that they had that night was a cosplay, like a parade. And so they wanted everyone, they had like one per hour, I think. But everyone who was in cosplay, they encouraged them to walk down the center street of Disneyland to sort of show off their cosplays. You had a lot of people in Jedi robes. You had people, there was a Shakti. She was gorgeous. Oh my god. I so admire the people who are willing to, like, especially the Ahsoka, you have to do like the paint on your skin, and you have to do the makeup, and you have to wear like the headpiece and everything, especially for the ones that have like the tail like extensions for the hair. Some people were like really committed to their cosplays. Unfortunately, there were not as many cosplays as I thought there was going to be. There was actually more normies, which makes sense because you're at Disneyland. The price is high, so the price. Oh, I was talking about this earlier, but I sort of got sidetracked. The price to enter the park. So if you're a California resident, then you can get a $200 pass for 3 days. That gives you access to both California Adventures and Disneyland for those 3 days. And so that's a really good deal if you're a California resident. If you're not, you are sort of shit out of luck because the prices are really expensive. But I had to buy that pass, and then on top of that, I had to buy the pass for that specific Star Wars night. It was $200 for that night. It was so expensive, and I'm like, this doesn't even take into account all the food that I'm gonna have to buy, the housing, anything else I want to buy at the park. The initial like $400 and you haven't even arrived there is crazy. So I would say that it was worth it for the experience, but I actually wouldn't go back to that Star Wars night. Instead of going to Star Wars night at Disneyland, I would go to a Star Wars convention. Because people who are going to a convention are definitely more dedicated fans. You do have like normies walking around who like Star Wars superficially or follow the series or whatever. But you're going to get a higher concentration of people who are going to cosplay at a convention, much so than Disneyland. And so that was one thing that I noticed after going that night, where I'm like, damn, that sucks. I wish I got to see more cosplayers, because that's to me the most fun out of an event, or out of any event, is seeing cosplays and how people like show their love for the character. The first night ended up being the Star Wars night. Oh, okay, so I was in my Barris cosplay, right? I was also wearing heels. They did have like inserts in them, so they were a little more comfortable, but I was like, I'm not gonna need like to bring a second pair of shoes. I'll be okay because I have my inserts in there. It'll be comfortable. I'd say it probably about, because I got there. My friend's like a diehard like Disney person, and if they go to Disneyland, they get there right at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I was there at 7. Was I there at 7 o'clock? No. I ended up getting there at like 11 or 12 because I needed time to put on my cosplay. Just kidding. So I got there later. I got there at 11 in the afternoon. But by late afternoon, my feet were hurting because I was walking a lot because I was going through and doing the rides because it's like daytime Disney. The longest wait time I think we had was 1 hour, which for me is crazy fast for Disneyland because I'm used to 2 to 3 hour wait times for Disneyland rides because of how busy it is. And so 1 hour at the maximum was really, really good. And I think we also, did we get a pass? I don't remember. One of the rides might have shut down and we got a pass for another ride, but it was fun because I got to go on like Haunted Mansion, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And my recollection of these rides is from like years and years ago. So it feels very different going in as an adult versus a child. But it was still very fun. And it was funny because it was on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride where I was sitting down, and then the attendee for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was like, I like your Myrialon cosplay. Myrialon cosplay. And I'm like, thank you. And then as we're going on that ride, I'm sitting there like, what did he say? What did this guy say? Wait! He talked about the species name! I turned to my friend and I'm just like, oh! Wow! That person really knows what they're talking about. It sort of hit me delayed, which was pretty funny. The drops, Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean, they both had drops. The drops felt a lot smaller as an adult, obviously, because it's very different when you're a child. Space Mountain was really fun. They tricked out Space Mountain so that it was it had screens in there that showed TIE fighter. The whole thing is that you're in space and you're like a TIE fighter fight. They transformed so much of Tomorrowland into Star Wars as well. They were playing Star Wars music. They have, the Star Tours ride is Star Wars, and then they have, the actual, Star Wars land. So much of Disneyland has become Star Wars, which is actually really cool. I really did enjoy that, and as a Star Wars fan, I'm like, please. But I also worry about the normie population being like, get this shit out of here. Star Wars has its own land. You should keep Tomorrowland, or whatever it is. But I'm like, no, please keep all the Star Wars stuff. They modified Space Mountain. Neat. Hi, Scarlett. How you doing? Yeah, they did. And it was cool because you could hear the whizzing sounds from the spaceships, but honestly the ride just goes so fast that you don't really comprehend what's going on. You just hear a bunch of whizzing and you're just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for the ride. Makes sense because Star Wars is one of the few futuristic series they have. Yeah. I think they had sort of already converted Tomorrowland into being more of a Star Wars section before they had added Star Wars into its own land. And so I wonder if just because of the popularity of Star Wars, they're like, we don't really need to change things. We'll just keep it as is. Rather than removing those things, being like, all right, we're just keeping Star Wars land to Star Wars land. But yeah. The stores also had a lot of Star Wars merch, but as someone who's picky with the merch that I have, I looked at the stuff there and I'm like, this ain't it. Also, hello, it was nice bumping to you at Offkai. Yes, it was great to see you. I will be talking about that too. And so I'll save that for that section. But it was really real quickly, it was really cool to get to see you guys at Offkai. Thank you so much for coming to my little gathering meet and greet. Yeah. Okay, I don't wanna get on that tangent. So I'll save that for later. yeah, and then the next, oh yeah. So then at 6 o'clock, I think I actually had my first break where like for an hour I sat down with my friend. I was actually like sleeping because I never sleep well on the first night of a hotel. So I probably got maybe 3 hours of sleep that night. I think because like over the course of the weekend, I had 3, 4, and then 5 hours of sleep. No, that was off Kai actually. Wait, hold on. Okay, well, I didn't get a lot of sleep on that first night. Oh, because I also think that the day before I left straight from work and then did the drive to Disneyland. No, it was a Saturday. No, it was okay. It was okay. Anyways, I was tired. I think I ended up going to sleep really, really late. Getting the stories mixed up. I know. Off-Kai was so much fun. Excited to hear about it from your end in a few minutes. Yes! Oh my god. I'm yapping about the Star Wars Day so much, and there's just so much more to talk about. I don't know what time I'd be ending stream. Okay, so I also had this encounter that just gave me like the bad vibes, right? So it was really late at night. I think it was 2 and I remember. Okay, I remember why I slept late that night was because I went to go see my friend, and that was when my friend's friend let me use the Ahsoka lightsabers. So I went to like a friend's party at like 10 and then didn't end up leaving until probably 1 in the morning. Then I'm back in my hotel like 2 in the morning, and I parked in the parking structure that's that's like underneath the hotel. And as I'm going down there, like this guy is in is in the handicap scooter, and he's like, "Hey, could you like help me get in the elevator? Like I left my key in the hotel." And I'm just like, sure. So I park my car and then I walk over towards the elevator area. And so it's not just elevators that lead straight up into the hotel. You have to go into this room and then there's the elevators. And I'm just like, I'm just suspicious because I'm like, I don't like how it's 2 in the morning. I don't like how it's like an adult man, probably in his late 30s, 40s, asking me for help to get into the hotel, because that is how you get mugged. That is how like bad things happen, right? And so I'm like looking behind my back. I'm making sure that I'm safe, that I'm alone. But then I'm also like, I don't like this. So then as I start going over to the elevator area, that's when I realize that it's in a room and not just elevators going up. Because if it was just an elevator, I would open up the elevator, tap my key card, let him go up alone, and then I would take the next one. But because we would be in this room together, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I walk up, I see that he's waiting in there, I just leave. I start running. I'm like, nope. So I run out of the parking lot and then I go through the main area. And so like we're outside of that room area. I open the door and then he says, "Thank you, babe." And I'm like, I don't like this. So I close the door and then that's when I start running. And then after I get into the hotel, then I call the front desk. I'm like, "Hey, I just came from the parking lot area, and there is this suspicious guy just asking to see if he can go up into the hotel like 2 a.m. in the morning." And so like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll send like security down." But I call like 30 minutes after this is happening because like my adrenaline's running and it takes me a little bit of time to like calm down. But I definitely was not going to be in an elevator with that person. Bleh. Yeah, awful. Yeah. Bad. So this is when people tell you like, be vigilant, like don't trust people. This is one of the moments where you do that. Because also downtown Anaheim, like the Disney area, is not safe at night. Despite it being a well-trafficked, like well-lit area, it is still not safe at nights, even if I was on like a hotel grounds. So, yeah. And then I end up sleeping until like 3. But then I went to the park the next day, and then I stayed there from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I was in the park for the whole 12 hours. By the end of the night, my feet were in such pain, and I still had to walk back to the... Oh my god, wait! That first day, I was in cosplay, right? And I'm like, I don't want to walk because I know that I'm gonna have to walk so much in the actual park. So I'm gonna try to take a shuttle bus to the location. My hotel wasn't that far, so I could have walked, but it would have been additional walking time. Then I go over to like the bus area, and the thing is, I have no clue how it works. I know that there is a shuttle bus specifically to bring people to Disney. But I don't know what it looks like. So the first bus that comes up, I hop on it. But then I show the bus driver. I'm like, hey, does this work on this bus? And he just like shrugs. He could care less. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. Like, you have a really shit job. I get it. So I get on the bus and I'm sitting there. And then as I'm watching the Google Maps, Disneyland's over here. I'm going like this way. And I'm like, I'm not turning and I'm not going this way, and I'm getting further and further away. So then I get off the bus, but not before that. There's like a homeless person like sitting across. I at least think he's homeless because his hair is all matted and everything. He's sort of tweaking out. But then he like flashes me, and I'm like, I'm getting off this bus. This is not what I had wanted before my full day at Disney. So the next stop, I get off the bus, and I'm like, okay. And then I take an Uber because I'm like, I'm further away from where I need to be. And I just had another unpleasant experience. So yeah, it was just bad, just bad timing. But I was finally able to get to the park. I'm going around the park all day. I'm having fun doing the different rides and then seeing the park as like, again, it's through adult lens rather than a kid's lens. Then closer to 6 or 7, I'm like exhausted. I'm just like people watching with a friend, and I've never taken the time actually to people watch. Because I get embarrassed because I'm like, what if people like find me like staring at them? But I think everyone's just going about their business, and especially because we were sitting in like just a walk path, a well-walked walking path. So people were just walking back and forth, and then I was really like looking out for cosplays, and it was like the first time I actually got to sit down and relax that evening. And I took off my shoes because my feet were in such pain, and I was taking ibuprofen all day. and I was like, I'm not gonna need another pair of shoes. The ibuprofen is going to be enough. Like I can handle it. I'm on my feet all the time at work, and I had never experienced that kind of pain before, and now I get it. Because when cosplayers are like, my feet hurt from wearing, because I wasn't even like heels I was wearing. It's probably like this tall. It wasn't even that tall, but I wasn't used to putting so much pressure on the ball of my foot. The ball of my foot was hurting. And it's funny because I'm there. I'm like, my feet are hurting. I'm so tired. I'm like hunched over. I'm taking a nap. And my friend is in a Chewbacca, the onesies. But what's the Japanese name for it? A onesie? Kikagumi? I forget the word. But they're in a Chewbacca onesie sipping an energy drink. And then some person goes up to them or makes some comment to their friend. Oh, Kigurumi! Thank you, Kigurumi. They hear like an off comment. I don't actually remember if they heard someone saying this about them or if the person like actually went up to them and said this. They'd be like, I should be doing what they're doing. Because my friend's just wearing a really comfortable outfit and just sipping on an energy drink. People watching at Disneyland. Yeah, that was my first time, and I'm like, I really, because if I go somewhere, I'm like, I want to plan to do like a bunch of different things, but I really do like just sitting down and enjoying, like looking out into the world and just sort of seeing it as it is. It was a nice rest. And then after that, that's when I go to the Star Wars land for the first time. And the Star Wars land, I think my favorite part of it is that they have TIE fighter sounds sometimes. Like, they'll have just the audio go vroom, and everyone, like, well, I mean, if you're not used to it, you sort of cower down and you're just like, oh, what is that? That's like a spaceship really close. Obviously, they don't have a TIE fighter flying throughout the air, but they make it seem like there is like a TIE fighter like flying over the land, and it was so cool. They did a really good job with the design. I think the thing that sucked the most is that they modeled it over everything that had happened in episode 7. Obviously, the movie that Disneyland produced, the one with the First Order, and I'm like, damn, this shit's not relevant and it's not cool. But it was still really... Oh, the Millennium Falcon was really cool. They made like a full-size replica right in front of a ride, and the ride was really cool. People were saying that, like, yeah, you have to experience it. You can't really know what's like gonna be a part of it. You just do it. And that was really fun. You have to have like a pilot and an engineer. And I was a pilot, but the pilot, there are 2 pilots. There's one that goes up and down and the one goes side to side. So I was the side to side pilot. But it was really hard. It was really hard because you not only, you have like the screen in front of you, like whatever ship that you're driving, it moves in its own way in the thing and then you can control it. But the visual itself would move. So when it moves to one side, then I would try to counteract that, but then I would overcorrect, and then the plane would go wow, and I'm like, how are you supposed to do this? I did it twice and I didn't do any better the second time. The wait for the first time, 15 minutes. Oh, for a ride that's supposed to be super, super, super like popular, it was really nice to almost just basically walk on. Yeah. The coolest ride was definitely the Rise of the Resistance. I think that's what it's called. That one, we had probably like a 45-minute wait, which is not bad because apparently it's like one of the most popular rides in the park. And they have, oh, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's going to experience it, but it is so worth the wait. Not gonna lie, like even if you do end up waiting 3 hours for it, I'd say that is a ride that it will be worth the 3-hour wait for sure. I absolutely recommend it. It was very immersive. They did a really good job with the actual like ride experience. It was very fun. And I don't know how they crammed all of that in that little like section of the park. Because you would just go from area to area to area and you're like, what the heck? Where are we? How did they build all of this? Definitely the best ride. So then the sun's starting to go down and then people are starting to come out in their cosplays. They had a live band going on in like the, let's say like, I don't know what it's called, like the New Orleans area. There's like a barn on an island across this like, this water area where during the day there's like a big ferry that goes past, and they had like a live band there that played Star Wars music. They played other music. It felt like a big party. The restaurants that were open had special menus for Star Wars night. I would say definitely not worth the $200 that I spent to go to that night, but it was definitely a good experience. They didn't have anything. It wasn't like they had a special ride open. Like the whole park was open for the entire night, so if you wanted to go on any ride that you wanted to, you could, but most people were like staying in the main Star Wars area. We wanted to try to go to the raising of the lightsabers, which is when at like 9 o'clock and at midnight they have like a fireworks show and everyone has their lightsabers and they hold them up. But I didn't realize that the area that they were gonna have that was so small, and the amount of people that were there that night, like only a fraction of the people could have attended that because of the limitations in the space. And so we tried going twice to see if we can get in, and it just didn't work out. So we're like, well, whatever. And my friend was like, I'm staying until closing, and I'm like, okay, I'm not. So I left the park on my own. I think I just ended up, I don't remember if I took in, I think I may have took the Uber that night because I'm like, my feet hurt and I'm not walking back. Or I did take the L and I just walked back. I'm not sure. So then the next day, rather than going straight to the park, like right when it opened, like my friend was, I wanted to really take my time, but I also wanted to eat food. Because throughout the day, I was eating, but I also was eating food that is not super nutritious. Like I had a corn dog for lunch, and then I think I had a hamburger, and then later in the evening I had like fish and chips, and I'm like, I need real food. I need real sustenance. So then I went out to eat lunch with a friend, and that was really nice because the food was really good and it was healthy. And I also had some dessert before going back to the park. So I didn't get to California Adventures until probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And California Adventures was definitely, it's smaller than Disneyland. It has less attractions, but visually it's a vibe. It's really good. And I took, they have a really nice viewing area right as you walk into the main section of California Adventures. And took some nice photos there. Yeah. I went to the Cars ride and waited there for 45 minutes, and then it broke down, so then I left, and then I went to go on I think I went to the Incredicoaster, which is like the big, like the only roller coaster that they have there, like the big wooden attraction one. I think I waited like an hour and a half just for single rider line, which is crazy. But the single rider line was considerably shorter than waiting in the actual line. So single rider maybe cut the time in half. And then by the time I finished with that, I'm like, I'm gonna go check out the Cars ride again, because they gave you like, it used to be before they would give you a physical ticket if a ride broke down, and then they're like, sorry, you can't go on this ride, but we'll give you a fast pass to go on another ride as compensation for you waiting here. So I had my ticket, but it was actually scanned to my code, to my 3-day pass, and it was really scary doing that because I also didn't know how long my battery life would last. I didn't have a pack, I didn't have a brick with me, so I was like, ooh, if this is attached to my code, I don't know if I could bring it up later on. I ended up working out because I left that ride and I went over to the Cars ride. The Cars ride is really cute. I remember when they first opened it, the whole Cars area is just so immersive. They made the entire set from the movie, and the actual ride itself had animatronics that were really like smooth working, and it looked really, really cool. It felt like you were seeing the actual cartoon like right before your eyes, which is really neat. And then I didn't even have to use my fast pass when I went back to the ride, because when I had left, they had said it was going to take an hour and a half just to reboot the ride again, because they had to completely shut it down. So then by the time I went back, they had just opened up the ride, so I just walked in through single rider, literally walked on the ride, and that was perfect. And I'm like, what do I use my ticket on? And then I learned that I could use it on the Ferris wheel. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So I literally just walk up to the Ferris wheel. It's an hour just to get on the Ferris wheel, but I have my little ticket and I walk right on. And I'm like, whoa, this is the best turn of events ever. Yeah, so California Adventures went pretty smoothly. I think I left there pretty early, maybe about 7 or 8. So I was there for a good like 6 hours before I left. And then, did I eat anything? Honestly, I have preached before about trying to be really good about drinking water, eating food when you go to events. I have not been doing that the past couple of events. And I am guilty of it, I know. Specifically at the park, at these parks, there's just not, the food's really expensive, and there's just not sustainable food sources. Sustainable food isn't like, pizza doesn't get you very far, you know? It'll make you feel full for like 2 hours, and then after that, you start to get hungry, depending on how much pizza you eat, for sure. Bread sandwich, my savior. Hello, Various. It's good to see you. Yeah. Did I bring something? I don't remember if I brought food with me today. I think I did bring food with me one day because I'm like, I can't do this. pack like sardines. Hour for school rider. I'm trying to remember. Pack like sardines for. It was really busy. Shoot, I'm just getting back to chat. My bad. I totally forgot the context. Reversal of fortune for sure. For the for getting like the single pass ride. And then that night I sort of just took it easy in the room. But I don't think I even slept that much that night. And then I woke up the next morning and I think I really took my I took my time getting up because I needed to pack up my stuff because I was leaving that day. So I get to the park. No. I get there at 8 a.m. Or is it 7 a.m.? Does the park open at 7 or 8? I think it opens at 8 o'clock. I get there at 8 o'clock because I'm like, you know, I was able to hang out with my friend the first day. The second day, because I got to the park late, by the time I had got there, my friend had left. And so I was doing California Adventures alone. And like, I'm on the third day, I want to actually like spend time with them. Then I go, and then we go to Space Mountain. I think Space Mountain shuts down. So we get like a pass. And then we go to like the Rise of the Resistance ride, and we go back to Space Mountain. And after Space Mountain, it's like 12 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home. And my friend's crazy. Literally there, start to closing, the first and third days. The second day being they left because California vendors, you don't do that much. And then they ended up leaving the day after. But I'm like, I have to get back to work. And I didn't take the day after off to rest because I'm like, I already took 2 days off of work just to do this trip. I don't want to take another one. So I go the next day, and thankfully I survive. I don't think it was as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But it's a lot. After that weekend, I'm like, holy shit. Going to Disneyland for 3 days is a lot. Water break. My god, this is just Disneyland. There's so much more. I need to make sure that when I'm talking, I'm talking from, you know, the diaphragm, not from my throat, so I don't wear out my throat. I have some trusty applesauce for my snack. I also have some pancakes that I made this morning downstairs that I might go down and get. Staying all the way to closing, yeah, I didn't realize how difficult it would be when you're walking around all day to have the stamina to do that. You need lots of energy, yeah. The only reason why my friend made it through those days was drinking like 2 energy drinks a day. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of warrior, but I salute you. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it for Disneyland. Very fun. Overall, I'd say it's not worth it to go for the price and for the things that they had there. But if you wanted to go just for the experience, I would say do it. If you're looking for more of a Star Wars experience, then definitely go to a con instead. You unironically got to be healthy to go to cons and it works all day long. Yeah. If you really like, because there's just so much to do if you really want to experience all of it. Like, yeah, and I had been running too, so I'm like, I'm physically fit. I can handle this. It's just another beast. It's just another type of experience that you can't prepare for. Let's check my calendar. What was after that? And then the next couple of weekends were busy. I had stuff to do that weekend with family and friends. I also went to my first idol event outside of Little Tokyo. So that was called Idol Jam. So this was one day out of the weekends in May, where a lot of my friends have been attending local idol events, and they had been doing it for like probably since October of last year, maybe even January of this year. But they would go there and they would have fun, and then they would do calls and mixes in the crowds for the idols, and then they would do wotage because that's just part of the culture. And so then I went to my first one because the only ones that I had been to were in Little Tokyo because they have a little space where they host those events. And this one felt like an official like idol event. Oh, actually, I went to two. I went to one for VTuber. It was like a VTuber concert. And then this one was the actual idol event. The VTuber concert was in Little Tokyo, and then this one was outside of Little. But it was really cool to know that the idol events that happen in SoCal, they are run by people who are in the community for the community. And it just made me realize how much work goes into like that kind of grassroots participation and organizing and scheduling and everything. Because if they weren't doing these events where idols can perform, then there is no platform. Like they have to make the platform themselves. And it's very different coming from like, because my start is in VTubers and specifically corpo VTubers, and then seeing seeing the organization and community for something that doesn't have that kind of money backing it up, or like attention or anything like that. And so it's just really inspiring to see that these are just people who love Japanese idol culture, and they do want to bring that into the US so that they can enjoy either participating as an idol or as someone who's a fan. So it was really cool. I got to see my Oshi group. Actually, the first time that I had saw them was at AI LA earlier that year. So sometime in January I had gone to see them. And then I was able to see them again in Little Tokyo, and then I saw them at this event. I think I saw them back to back actually. I think the events were back to back. That's crazy. But I get to show my checkies. There's actually some discourse going on around this. I did not know that a checkie is specifically these photographs. And what makes them special is that they're one of a kind. So there's a difference between a photo card, which can have a printed image of it, and those are mass produced. Those are called photo cards. So checkies are specifically if they're like, again, that one of a kind photo because it's taken on a Polaroid camera. Let me find a way to censor my face. Yippee! So these are the checkies that I got this weekend. Ta-da! So their duo name is Oyasumimi. I didn't know this. Rose is part of Asayoru Maid Cafe. I know that there is another duo called Strawberry Sundae, and both of them are in Asayoru Maid Cafe. But in their duo, it's just Rose. And in Cherry does a lot of cosplay, actually. Ever since I started following her Twitter account, she does a lot of really nice cosplays. And one of a kind, and sometimes includes a special message. Yeah. So they have, like, oftentimes they'll just have the dates, they'll have some decoration, they'll have like a little message on it. Yeah. Oh, Yasumimi at Milky Way Marketplace. This was the event. I had actually, I remember, so Saturday was the VTuber event, and then Sunday was like the Idol event, and I wasn't planning. Wait, no, the VTuber event was another weekend. Oh my god, there's just so much I don't remember. The VTuber event was another weekend, and I came to Idol Jam, and then the next day was Milky Way Marketplace. Got it. And so I saw them like back to back. This one was at the... Then when did I see them here? Oh, because they performed with the VTuber. Okay, so this was from a VTuber event. This was from Idol Jam, and this was Milky Way Marketplace. Everything blurring together. So yeah, literally so so busy. And I knew that I was gonna talk about all this too. So I knew I needed to keep like a record of what I had done, but I just didn't do it, and now I regret it. I know it's worked in the past to actually keep a record. I'm so thankful for Google Sheets and Calendar helping me keep track of things. Yeah. That was totally what I had planned on doing, because especially like making notes of stuff, right? Because I also don't want to forget anything that's like fun or important, but it just is. So chronologically then, it's this, and this. But this was their... I didn't take a checky with them, and I also did... I should have got a shirt. I had heard they were giving away shirts, and I should have gotten one, but I also, like, when they first performed at AILA, I didn't know that I was going to actively follow them after that. I didn't know that they were going to be my Oshi group. So this was my second time seeing them, but their third performance. This was my third time seeing them, their fourth performance. And this is my fourth time seeing them, their fifth performance. Yeah, and they had such cute outfits. There was actually someone in another idol group who made these outfits. And I'm like, oh my god, I appreciate that so much. The fact that you made these outfits. I actually got to meet them. I was really happy. And I have a checky with them, actually. Hold on. Back up. Yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of film printers or the cameras that let you cancel a picture. I don't know. I don't know what those are. Is it like a special kind of like checky printer? Is that what you mean? Wait. I was gonna take it off, but I have to pull it off screen first. Oh my god. Ta-da! It was with Tea Time. And it's actually, I don't remember their name. But they're the one who makes the outfits, and they make their own outfits too. Yeah, you take with phone and print it out. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You can upload any picture, I think, into the photo printer, and then the photo printer will like print it out. I actually have a checky. I have a checky actually of one of those, because then technically it's not unique. You can that makes sense. Okay, so that's more of a photo card, even though it's on Polaroid film, because it's the same image that's been reproduced. Okay, I get that. Whoa! You guys didn't see anything. you guys didn't see anything. Good pose. Yeah, I think the poses. I try to choose some like cute poses, you know. Because it's like, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna have like this day immortalized, this event immortalized, then I want to do like a cute pose. So I try to do something different every time. All right, let me put these away. And I even have now a little checky book that I keep all of my checkies in. That's the thing with checkies though, is that you want to like show your face on it. You don't want to have a mask in here, and so I don't think I could show this checky book just because it has my face all over. Hold on, I can do this. Ta-da! This is what it looks like. Yippee! And I can decorate it with stickers and stuff, but I'll do that at a later time. Sal's Idle Jam, and then Milky Way. Marketplace. Yippee! And I actually did my first, like, recording doing wazas, doing wotage with my friends, and that was really cool because I had seen so many people like coming together to do so wazas again are the specific like move sets that you do to specific parts of songs. Wotage is like is the word for the whole thing in culture too. I actually don't know I don't remember what it's called when people come together in like a group to record. But I was really proud of that one because I had learned a little bit from my friends like how to improve my form, because I don't practice well, occasionally I will practice by myself, but it's a lot better to get in-person practice because then you can get like they can give you specific tips on how to improve your form, and I learn a lot better that way rather than learning from a video. But of course, like distance barrier and stuff like that makes it harder to practice alone. But yeah, I did it. I was really proud. I was really happy that I did it because I'm like I'm not too confident in how good I look in comparison to other people, but I also have to understand that I'm not practicing as much as them, that I'm not like as dedicated into the culture. I'm not learning these things on my own, and so I try my best regardless. But I was really happy with that, and I'm happy that my friends wanted to record too. It's just the video is a little scuffed. Wait, hold on. Actually, I think I can show it. I'm so wiggly. Ta-da! Let's see. Alright, so let's see if the audio will actually go through.
Hey! Wait, who was that? I don't know.
Is it loud? Is it really loud? Hold on, turn it down. I can't hear it on my end. I hope you guys can hear it. We got off to a wrong start. I was just following like the others because I had just learned some of those like moves too. I had just learned Nihai Ohai that weekend. And the same thing with like Rosario. I'd never done Rosario that fast before. Los Angeles, I just learned it like 5 minutes before. It was really scuffed. And I was like, because I had been keeping up with running, I could keep up with like the BPM. Oh my god, my star punches are so bad. And Muramasa. Apparently I was told I don't have a form with Muramasa, and that sort of stayed. Oh, I lost my footing there. Yeah. So despite it being really scuffed, I was really proud of it, because this is what my form looked like after. Oh, I don't want full screen. This is what my form looked like when I learned oh god, for the first time. And so it's like, it's quite an improvement from that, for sure. Yeah, that was at Boat concert last year. And so to see this come from that, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm really proud of that. So were you guys able to hear the audio? Did it go through? I still struggle with Los Angeles. I really like Los Angeles because it's very flashy to me, and you get to really like show off your like arm extension. I guess your core strength too. Like, how can you support if you can support yourself going like windmilling all the way around? But yeah, I really wanna learn Los Angeles. That was fun. And then so that was early mid-May. Audio came through. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Then after that, okay. So this is when shit sort of hit the fan. Not in a bad way. It's just everything was happening at once. So you have May, and then so now we're going into June. I'm like, how many colors should I do for this? Hold on. Well, we have enough colors. Let's just send it. Send it! June. So at this point, I'm also like packing up stuff, trying to get ahead, because by June 1st, I have to be moved out. So the first 2 weeks of June, I think, was just like prep work for cons and taking time just to get shit together. So then, oh, and I also would be starting a new job at this time. And so I think, so hold on, let's see if I can push this up a little bit. There we go. June. Then how my June was gonna look. Let's see. What did I do that weekend? Oh, the idol event was in June. Okay, well, I got that wrong. So then it's the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. So those are the Saturdays of June. So June 1st, 2nd, or no, 7th, 8th. I didn't have anything that weekend. Oh no, just kidding. I had the idol event June 7th, 8th. And then the next weekend I was packing. And then the weekend after that was off Kai. And then the next weekend after that I was moving. I'm like, shoot. There's a lot of stuff going on. I gotta make sure that I have my stuff put together. And then also during this time, it was sort of like in the May-ish, I was in the middle of applying for a new job, and it took so long to try to get all those pieces together because I was waiting on responses and like back and forth and like what response I was gonna give and stuff like that. And so it wasn't until I think it was that first week of June that I put in my 2 weeks at my job. Yeah, it actually, I had put in my 2 weeks like the 30th of May-ish. So I would have 2 weeks at my job to then be able to start the next one. Then we have June, we had that idol event. I guess that should go down here. And then the biggest event of the year was Offkai. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I think it's one of these was supposed to be lowercase. I think it's lowercase, and then K-A-I capital, whatever. Offkai! Yippee! I should specify Expo. Favorite time of the year. O-F-F lowercase. Yeah, lowercase. Yeah. I had been going to Offkai since Gen 1, and so it was really cool to come back for Gen 4. I've met a lot of people through Offkai. I've gotten to have a lot of experiences at Offkai, so it's become a very special event in my heart. And so I was super happy to be able to go back. The weekend was crazy. I got there, so the expo was on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got there on Thursday early. And then when I got there on Thursday, there was already events on that Thursday. So just when I got there, then I immediately went to go wait in line to pick up my badge. I saw so many people I knew in line. It was just saying hi to everyone. Be like, oh my god, how are you doing? Oh my god, I remember you. Like, it just chatting. And then during that chatting, then I ended up just getting invited to a dinner where we ended up going to Chili's. Which is really funny because Chili's is not the dinner choice that I would have had. If I'm going to like LA or if I'm going to San Jose, I'm choosing Asian food. I want Asian food because I can't get that at home. And if we go to Chili's, I had really low expectations for this dinner, but it ended up being a good time and it ended up being good food. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah, actually, I think we have a photo of that. And I was able to meet a lot of people that I knew, but I was also able to meet some new people as well. I met Orca for the first time, and then I met Tuna for the first time. Let's see. Boop. Yippee! Orca as well. Orca is so full of energy. They're just a little ball of energy. It's great. There's Paige, Nani, Murphy, I think Rice Nat. I met Rice Nat for the first time. I don't recognize that icon right beside Rice Nat. Ray Mac. Ray Mac is the Nacho Libre. Murphy and Mac I got to meet last year. I think I met Nani before at AILA. Paige, I think I met Paige at Offkai Gen 1, which is really funny. I don't recognize the bottom left one. Taroko I met last year, and then Tuna on the floor. I don't recognize the person next to that. Then that's Ducky. And then above, Miss Vis, you're right behind me. You have the Gengar that I gave you. And then there was Takezo. Takezo is great to see again. It's actually, I had passed Takezo multiple times in line, but I didn't remember that was Takezo. And I felt so bad. That is the second time that has happened in the past couple of events where like I've literally passed by a person so many times and didn't say hi because I didn't recognize him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then Bala was there. Oh wait. Nexi. Nexi was there, and then Moon too. I don't recognize the. Yeah, Nexi is next to Rice now. Okay, yeah, Nexi, and it was really cool to get to talk with other like diehard Min fans. It's funny because Off-Kai Expo is a lot of where, like, I was able to meet a lot of other wisps at Off-Kai Expo, and it felt like I was still part of the community. And I say still just because I haven't been an active wisp. I still love her, and that won't change. That won't change. But I don't keep up as often as everyone else before, and it was just really nice to still be accepted into the community. I haven't other than the doll, I hadn't done anything recent, and so I thought, oh, maybe I because I'm not doing anything current. Like I would understand if I don't have the same place in the community as I did before, but it was really nice to still like chat with old friends and hang out with people. Yeah. Very grateful I was able to do. I think my camera is right in front of my model. That's why it's not tracking as well. My bad. Yeah, so I was really, really happy to get to go to that dinner. And then later on that night, I learned that Ashes was having her performance, and then we were all outside just watching her performance. And then oh, this person who does, like, I think it's guitar or bass, but they just started playing like anime music, and we all ran over there, and then we just started doing calls and mixing and watage and everything. It was really, really fun. Yeah, the Wisps are a very welcoming bunch. Glad I could chat with a lot of them this Off-Kai. Yeah, I love Wisps. I love Mint Phantom. I love the community. It very much feels like home. So. Actually, before I continue, I'm gonna go get some pancakes. I have learned from my experience in the past, I shouldn't wait until I'm hungry to get food, because I'm using so much energy talking that I am inevitably going to get hungry. So I will be right back. I actually don't have a be right back screen. Oh, maybe I can ask Dan for another recording so I can have a be right back screen. But because I love the waiting room so much, I'm just gonna send you guys to the waiting room. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye bye. Okay, I'm back. I scarfed those pancakes down. Holy. Thank you, thank you. You guys got some snacks? You guys got cooking? Once a wisp, always a wisp. Honestly, yes. Yes, that is it. Once a wisp, always a wisp. I love this freaky little ghost. Excuse me. I love Mint Phantom! Man, I love Mint Phantom. MILF. Thank you, thank you. Hello there, Paper! How you doing? Yeah. So, day 1 of convention, and I'm already tired. Because I spent so much energy socializing with people the night before, and then I tried to go to bed at a reasonable time, but then I couldn't sleep. So then this was the weekend that I got 3 hours, 4 hours, and 5 hours of sleep. Honestly, a MILF mint hat would be banger. I'm surprised someone hasn't made it yet, honestly. Doing good, just tired. Hang in there, friend, you got this. See what I wrote for my notes. Oh, okay. First thing. Oh, Krisu! Hello, Soni! Off-Kai was a really great weekend. It really was a great weekend. It was great to see you again as well. I love being able to see people at conventions. And it's funny because, like, sometimes we only meet at conventions and it becomes a very, like, special place. So day 1, I'm like, I want to go to Ayami Sensei's booth because I know how busy she is and I know that she is going to sell out on stuff. So a bunch of us just waited. I think I got there at 9. I think I got there at 9. And then even getting there 2 hours before Artist Alley opens, like, there's still a line. And so I'm super grateful for the people who were there super early, and then we joined them in line. But a bunch of us were stationed there. And then this was when Bala was cosplaying Mint that day. Hold on. God damn it, I've been looking for both there. No, it's in here. Aha! Alright, I'm gonna actually use stickers. Collective. You don't see my face. Ta-da! This is my Bala Checky. Woo! There we go. We'll just do this. Very first Checky of the weekend. Actually, took a picture with her. I took a picture with her in her mint outfit too, I think. I don't know where I put that Checky. But Bala, for those of you guys who don't know, so she goes by Ho-Ho. Ho-Ho is a super cute Mint cosplayer. She commissions a lot of art for Mint, and then she ends up making merch from that art as well. She's done a lot for the community. Yeah, she gave me this checky holder too to put this in. I felt really honored to get the first checky of that weekend. We ended up spending a lot of time together off Kai weekend. And it's just because she was working the maid cafe too. So she was really busy and I was just sort of all over the place at all times. So we were just both really tired. I have a Momonga checky holder for my Oshi checky. These guys are really cute. I understand like the appeal for them. It's really hard for me, honestly, to get into mascots. But then once I see how other people like the mascot, then I'm like, oh, that's how you're supposed to like the mascot. And then I like the mascot as well. I guess because I don't naturally gravitate towards mascot? Question mark? But yeah, so this was my little chickie. And then it's really funny because the day that she was cosplaying Mint, she had said if anyone wanted a Chucky with her that they can do it for free, that you just have to go up and ask. And we were waiting in line and people in line wanted to take Chuckies with her, and I ended up becoming like her manager. Because people were waiting in line, so I was like organizing them in line. I was also taking the photos. And then I was encouraging people to actually like pay her for the Chucky. Because she does like all these cute decorations. She works for a maid cafe. Like she actually works for a maid cafe, and so that like she does such a cute job decorating her Chuckies. And so it's like if she's gonna put all that effort into decorating your Chucky, then you definitely should pay for it. And so I was like, please tip her. And then we ended up waiting in line for the Ayami booth, and I didn't know that people were rushing to get to her booth for the badges, because I know the badges were signed. I didn't end up buying any badges because I knew that the really dedicated Wisps were going to buy a ton of badges and have extras. So that's why I just didn't buy any that round, but I did get the art book, and so I love Mint art books. So I'm really happy to have that. Never underestimate the hustle of manager Soni. Don't worry, guys. I'll make sure that people know your worth. I will fight for you. I'm gonna see if I can move this. That should be better, actually. There we go. And then after that, I had a meet and greet. Or I was going to go to a meet and greet. I didn't get any of the paid meet and greets, but this one was one in the exhibition hall, so I walked around there. And then I ended up realizing that the meet and greet wasn't that day. And I'm like, well, shit. Well, I walked around for nothing. But then I ended up running into another VTuber that I wanted to actually like say hi to. And the whole story is just like, it's just really funny. I think, yeah, and JP said that I could talk about it on stream. So it was a really, really funny exchange. So the VTuber that I went to go see was Triggerfish, and she collabs with Ryoma, and that's how I got to know her. And what I didn't know is that she really loves like idol music, and she loves idol culture as well. And so when I and also like I learned more about her because my friend JP is also like he follows her, like she is one of his Oshis because he has so many Oshis. But and then he was like, yeah, she was really interested in wotage because she wasn't from that era of like idol culture where wotage was super popular, so she wanted to know more about it. And so it's actually him and his friend that sent her a video of basic like wazas, and then she ended up using that to like learn wotage on her stream. which is really funny. So I'm like, oh my god, so yeah, so like she she knows who you are, like, and she even used your stuff on stream. That's really cool. So then I walk up to the meet and greet, and I'm just like, hi, my name is funny. I go by Pastel when I'm like a fan. My name is Pastel, and I actually have a really funny story to tell you. So I first got to know you through Ryoma, but then I learned that my friend is a fan of yours and that you actually use like some of his videos to learn wotage. And I'm like, yeah, his name is JP, and she's like, oh, like sweet JP, and I'm like, yeah, that's him. And she's like, oh wow, you know JP, you know I've actually been trying to get him a girlfriend. And I'm like, yeah, I mean JP is so great. I love JP, like he's such a good friend. But it was funny because I was talking with her like, yeah, we recently like saw each other at an event, and he actually like he lets me use like his light sticks when I don't have any or something like that. Like he's a really good friend. And she was just like, oh. And then afterwards it was time for the picture. And she was like, oh, you should pose with your like with your light stick. I bought a light stick from, I think it was Yeah Lights, not Neon Shrine. I think it was Yeah Lights. So wait, I have it. Hold on. Ta-da! So this thing is so cool. You can actually fit a puppy in here. I don't have an easily accessible puppy right now, but you can turn it on. Ta-da! So the light comes from the bottom, and then, hold on. And then you can change the color. Yeah, this thing is so cool. It is the perfect fan tool. I actually have a Roomba sticker in there right now. His wingman, VTuber wingman, for real. I was just laughing so hard, but it's funny because afterwards, I put on my posts and I was just like, yeah, I made sure to tell to tell JP how much you gassed him up, because she was also like, yeah, he's so cool, like he does it and that. I'm like, yeah, that's so awesome, like, and I was just so excited to tell him that his Oshi was like talking about him so much, right? Yeah, so that was really cool. Yeah, I put a Minto plush in it. Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. It's perfect for puppies. Oh, oopsie. Hold on. I don't know if you guys heard that. My housemates have a dog. Pape wotage prison. I would be so scared to do wotage with this pen light because, like, there's a lot of like collision where it's like you do this, this thing is so reflective. It's like you do this and this and this. With your pen lights, like you collide them, and this would absolutely break. I'd be so scared, but it's very cute still. It's an orb, so I was checking the reflection on it. That's such a cool tool. And then after that, and then I didn't really have any plans. I was just sort of gonna go with the flow, which I realized was a mistake. Because if I just went with the flow, then I didn't schedule any time to just rest. And I think that was a big mistake that weekend. I think I ended up going to, there was a call-in mix panel I ended up going to that I led by Ashes, and I think I went to another panel for that. I don't remember. And then later that night, was, I think it was the Wotake competition. Was it Friday night? The Wotake competition? I don't remember. What did I do that night? Friday was battle. Yeah, it was. Okay, it was on Friday nights. Okay. What was that like? I think by the time I got out of the panel, and then I didn't eat lunch because I was just like, so I didn't realize this, but the conventions I had gone to prior have had food trucks at the actual like convention location. So then I would eat, if I was hungry, then I would have conveniently located food. And technically there was food options around the convention, but none of them sound appealing. So I just didn't really eat. But I think it was that evening where I happened to find like a little food court that had like rice, that had real food. And so I was able to eat and refresh before going back to that area. Oh yeah, I went with a friend to get boba. That was after eating. Okay, yeah. So I went to eat, and then we went to go get boba, and then afterwards we went back to the Wotake area. They really cracked down on the food stuff outside of San Jose Convention Center. Is that not normally the case? Do they normally have food? Because if they did have food at the convention center, I definitely would have eaten more. But because the food wasn't as easily accessible, that I didn't. Well, not easily accessible. I guess if it wasn't immediately accessible, I should say. Because I also I had heard that there was like a mid taco place down the street, and I'm like, I don't want to eat mid food. I was just eating. Oh yeah, I was just eating snacks the whole weekend. I literally was just eating like almonds and cashews and pistachios and applesauce. That was just like what was keeping me alive. And then it was really cool, and we ended up going to the Wotake area, and that was really, really cool because there were so many people like that I knew, but there was also just this huge crowd of people I haven't seen before. I think they were just there to watch. And then yeah, it was really cool to see such support, and just really cool to see like my friends go up there and battle it out and show all of their hard work from all the practice that they've done. It was a good time. I think it went for 3 hours. Maybe I was there for 2.5 hours. I didn't apply to it because I didn't think that my level was good enough to be in there. What I didn't know is that they were accepting everyone regardless of skill level, which I think is really nice. I think had I had known that, well, and here's the thing, I think I did know that too, but I just totally threw away the notion that I would apply. Which I realized was a mistake because I think it would have been cool to actually go up there because it would have motivated me to want to learn more, to do better. But at the same time, I don't think I would have been able to learn any new wazas by the time I get there because I only know the 3 basics. I only know the 3 basics. Amaterasu, Thundersnake, and Muramasa. And so there were 3 rounds and you needed to demonstrate 2 per round. And so you needed 6 total. So it literally would have just been, I would have just been spamming the basics for every round and that wouldn't have worked. So it worked out. It worked out that way. There's a nice takoyaki place. I was 10-minute walk away. Really? Wait, was it in the sofa eating area? Because that's where I ended up. Once I discovered it, I ended up going there for food. Afkai is expensive and small portion size food was at the back of the artist alley. Was not worth it. Oh yeah, and no. I wasn't gonna eat at that cafeteria either. Most good restaurants were 10 to 20 minutes walking away. Yeah, and because it felt like that there was something to do every hour. I didn't want to take the time to leave the convention because it would take me so much time to get there and then eat and then walk back. And then I think a big part of The convention was definitely FOMO. being scared that if I had walked away from the convention that I would miss out on something. But honestly, taking that time and break for yourself is so necessary, because otherwise it, like the conventions and like walking around at Disneyland, it's the same thing. Literally the same thing. Like, you have to be so physically fit and healthy to walk around and do all of these things. I just ordered room service in the hotel so I can save on time. Yeah, I even considered that, but then I think was it pricey? I think it was really pricey, and I'm like, oh, because it's always a tier list in my mind. It's like, if it's pricey, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna find something cheaper. But if the cheaper food is bad, and I'm like, then I'm just not gonna eat. I gave in to the cafe for the same reason, just not enough time. Yeah. Also finished 2 loaves of bread that weekend. I think, well, what I had planned on doing, because I roomed with a friend who had a car, we were gonna go like to Costco and stuff. And last year, I even brought like pre-packaged meals and to stick them in the fridge. But the fridges in the rooms are so small, and I didn't have time this year to actually go to a market where I could get some pre-packaged food. So I was just sort of shit out of luck. But I did stock really well on snacks, and those snacks did save me. So technically, I was eating. just not real food. Yeah. And I think I tried to retire early that night, because then the next day was going to be another big day. I skipped a few lunches, but mostly had time to eat dinner at off. Well, that's good. At least you had like one like main meal, right? I was eating leftover food for breakfast. So I did have like not just snacks in the morning. But even still, that's really hard to get by, you know? And then on Saturday, I know I had that meet and greet. Oh, I went to Peony's panel. Peony did a 101 Woteke panel. That was really fun, and it was so well done, like the pacing and everything. And then seeing Sandflare up there on the stage, shout out to Knives, lead performer. It was so cool. Because Sandflare is in the Bay Area, so I actually get to like see them perform live. It's like, yeah. And then Peony was and she was in her, well, obviously she had her VTuber up on the screen, and then taught us how to do like amaterasu. And it was really funny because I didn't want to be in the front, because I don't know a lot, and I'm not as confident enough in my ability to like to be like, hey, you guys should follow me because I know what I'm doing, or I have the best form. Like, no, I'm gonna be somewhere in the back. But that also meant that I was sort of in the crowd of people who were just being introduced to it for the first time, or had maybe knew a little bit about it. And I was worried that I did intimidate the people around me with my current knowledge. But what I also hope to do is that, like, for the people around me, I wasn't trying to be extravagant or anything, but I was trying to be just really like clear with my movements, so that if they wanted to watch someone who was like not on the stage, and or if they were like panicking and trying to figure out what to do, they could sort of like follow along with what I was doing, because I knew the basics. So that was pretty cool. It's so funny because like when they were handing out packs of the off-kai cards, which is actually funny because I do have an Ayami card. I don't have the Minto one, but I do have Ayami. The two people around me, I pulled one, and then someone else around me pulled a Huni card, and I'm like, what? That's crazy! A Huni card out in the wild. And so I made sure that those went to good homes. Thanks. Knives, you were so good. Everyone, go look at Knife's Twitter page. He's a really, really, really good Uchishi. Uchishi is the official name for someone who practices Wotake. I wish I had a Huni card. Curation! How did you not get a Huni card? There's no way! I think I ended up giving my extra away. Shoot. I would have given it to you had I known. Hopefully you're able to get one somehow. There's bound to be someone who has one out there. And then after that, then I had the meet and greet, but I met up with a friend before that, or a friend during that too. I went to go see Bluebell and Mischief from Special Lights. And they were very cute. This meet and greet was a little short, so I felt like I couldn't say that much or do that much actually, but I'm glad I was able to get a photo with them. They're very fun. They're also very cracked gamers. Surely I could find someone at Offkite to give me one. Yeah, exactly. You should be able to find someone. And then I also delivered a letter for a friend. And then recently I just learned that the livers actually got a scan of the letters so that they could see the letter ahead of time before it actually gets to them. Because for their company, I think all the letters have to be like look through and everything before they're actually given to the liver. And so the liver is able to actually read the letter before it gets to them like a while later. And so I'm happy to hear that the letter was delivered, because even when we do ship them, like ship fan letters, I never know if maybe perhaps it got lost in the mail. Like we never know if it actually gets to its destination, because it'll get to its destination also much, much later. Yes, boss. There you go! Various can hook you up. Alright, let's see. Oh, I had Maid Cafe. Oh, okay. I went to Peyo's panel, and then right after I went to Maid Cafe. So this year I had tried organizing people, because I wasn't a part of the Maid Cafe this year. I tried organizing some of the Wotege people to go at the same time slot, just because I know how difficult it could be with everyone's schedule to try to like go to the Maid Cafe at the same time. And so I figured that one, we could all go as a group because that would be fun, but also two, like I want to be able to show the culture at the Maid Cafe. Just because a lot of, well, I feel like I'm not a good person to talk about this because I don't know too much about it. But I know that maid fan culture and idol culture are similar. I know that they exist hand in hand. And so I wanted to bring like the Wotege culture into the Maid Cafe space because I know it already exists in like the idol fan space. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I know that the lines are being a little blurred for me because a lot of like the Asayoru maids are also idols and performers, and so there's a little bit of bleed over there, but I actually don't know how it is in Japan. But this was the first checky I got when I went on the first day. Ah, they're so cute. So I had Belle as one of our main performers. She did a Maririn song, and so it was really cool to hear the other guys I was with like actually know the calls for that song, and I didn't know it, and I'm like, oh shit, I should have prepared it ahead of time because it's like Mari Rin, something something Maririn. And I'm like, this is Niji! I need to know this! And then Bala also did her, Ho-Ho also did her performance, which was really, really cool. We got to see her on stage. She was super nervous about it, but I'm like, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. It's gonna be fine. And I think it ended up working out too for her. So I had a bunch of maids sign in. I was my maid. She was a great maid. I had worked with her the past 2 years, I believe. I think she's also a Gen 2 maid. Gen 2 was when they first had the Maid Cafe. yeah, it was really great to actually like be a participant in her group. I didn't know that they were changing up the work schedule this year. The reason why I didn't want to participate in the maid cafe was because of the time commitment for it. Because in the previous years they have been 6 to 8 hour shifts, and because of that I wasn't able to really see the convention because I was working it. Which I didn't mind, because this was also a really great experience. But actually being able to walk around, I was just like, wow, I'm at a convention right now. But this year they did 4-hour shifts, and they had so many maids, which I think is a really great thing, because definitely in the past 2 years, it really felt like we were low on maids. There wasn't enough maids to cover when some of us wanted to take our breaks, and so it definitely felt like we were doing a lot. But I think this year they actually had an overstaffing issue, which is something I can't speak to because I didn't participate in the maid cafe this year. But I want to see what it's gonna be like next year, because now we also know it's gonna be in a new venue. Hopefully that they give the maid cafe a bigger space, because the space did feel a little small this year. And I think they also had one less table, so it was one less like group of active maids. But my seating was really fun. Really happy that I was able to go. And they have a new mascot this year. Every year I'm gonna buy the acrylic sand of the mascot because I have from the other. Ba 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 na 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 ba 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 ba. The Uma Musume brain rot. I love the maid cafe. Had 0 time to spare this year though. Come next year. I think I will be doing the maid cafe again next year. If they have the 4-hour shifts, then I will absolutely do a 4-hour shift on both Saturday and Sunday. And so I'll try to organize people again next year. If they want to specifically see me at the maid cafe. And we're definitely going to have to see how that works, because people can request you to be their maid. But also, if we have as many maids as we did this year than in previous ones, I don't know how much table time each maid can get. Maybe each maid will work maybe like 4 seatings that day, but can only seat people 2 out of that day. And so if that's the case, I also want to be conscious of the schedule, so that I'm not seeing people, I'm not taking up a table for every time slot that day, so that other people can't see patrons. So we'll figure out how the schedule works, but I think it'll be very fun. I'm very excited to have returning and new patrons next year. Yippee! And I think now that I'm a little more familiar too with how to work at the maid cafe and the culture, because I went to my first official maid cafe at Asayoru. I now know what like a more professional maid looks like, and I want to try to embody that. Because they're so cute. I'm glad you got to have fun this year. Yeah, it was really cool to be a patron and to like especially be on the side that like cheers for the maid performances. Definitely felt like, because a lot of the maids, it was their first time seeing something like that. Some of the maids though have been maids for a long time, and they've been a part of like the Japanese idol community for a long time, and so they know what that culture is like already. But for a lot of them it was new, and so it was really cool for them to see, and I hope it was really eye-opening, because it's like, this is so fun, it's so fun. I hope they got a good experience being able to experience it. Yes. I hope I can be a maid next year. Oh my god, creation. Let's do the maid cafe together. I really hope you could do it. The off-cam maid cafe was fun this year. Thanks, Soni. Yippee! I'm glad you had fun. And I hope everyone in the time seatings that I organized also had fun. it was definitely it was definitely stressful trying to organize everyone because as much as I had tried to like communicate with Kitty, the lead manager for the maid cafe, like to like make it so that we can do this, there's still just a lot that we didn't know until like the day of, and so I felt like there was like a lot of shuffling, just making sure that everyone was like there, and it was I definitely got stressed out but it ended up working out fine, and as long as people had fun, then that's what matters. And I think yeah, because there were only 2 seatings this year versus like last year I think I had 3 or 4 seatings a day. I was also seeing a lot of people like last year as well, so that one was easier because you just come into the maid cafe at a certain time and then I'll meet you. But this time we had to have specific maids, and then we also had to be seated in a specific place. Anyways, hello Derpius, I missed out on the line. Definitely everyone put maid cafe on your schedule. Just it's just a real fun time. It always feels really short because it's really hard to get everyone in and out within that short time period. Even at Asayoru, like especially with the amount of maids that they had, it's very difficult to get everyone in, fed, out, performances, everything. Yeah, I understand. Oh, and then Off-Kai Live. So I think I went to another panel before Off-Kai, or I tried to go to another panel. I know I had tried to meet, because everything always happens at once, right? So I was trying to pick up some emergency supplies from someone that I knew that was working like a panel, but they couldn't get out, so I was just waiting there for an hour. It was funny because it was a mid panel, but I actually couldn't go inside because it was at full capacity, and the person that I was meeting was in there. So I'm just gonna chill out here. And it was really funny because that is how I ended up getting lifted. So I don't know if you guys have seen Solemn around on Twitter, but he's a Woltege bro, but he also is super strong, and he will just lift people for free. Just because he like actually, I don't know his motivation for doing it. I just know that he just does it. And so we were out there in the hallway, and then that's when this video ended up getting recorded. Right here. Pause that. Click on this pose. Oh, haha, you heard the audio before you saw anything. I hate this. Why? Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, just to be clear, I wasn't afraid of falling. I'm just so not used to being lifted above the ground because I'm taller. And so we did the first one, and then he didn't like have his positioning right, so he just set me down.
I've never seen a full.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared of like hurting you. And he was just like, oh no, I just didn't have like my positioning right. Do you want to do it again? And I was just like, yeah, because I wasn't gonna back down from a challenge, even if I was scared, like I wasn't gonna let that stop me.
If you're mid for a panel and it's not number 2, it's at full capacity.
Yippee! You can actually see like my left leg. I couldn't like keep my like legs together because I didn't realize that when you're like up there and you're vertical that it Like, I was trying to clench my abs really, like, hard so that I was, like, as straight as I could be. But even clenching my core, like, my legs still went, and I think how you know that if you're really strong is if you can hold, like, both legs parallel, you know? But then, it's funny because, like, the whole crew was there, and then they, and then these pictures were taken. Heck yeah, planking to the extreme, exactly, yeah. So these are really fun. I can't wait to decorate these, actually. And Selim's great. He is so fun, and he's so kind. I can't wait to see him again. And then I also got to take this chickie with Vala, with Ho-Ho. She was so cute that day. Oh my gosh, she wears the cutest outfits. And I'm like, how do you know? How do you know how to dress like this? How do I learn? This is so cute. Yeah. Literally, she was in the area too, but she was just so, like, tired, and we were just sitting together against the wall like, oh, I'm so tired. And then after that, that's when I ended up, I think that's when I ended up going to eat with other Wotege people. And then it was while we were out eating, did we learn that you needed a wristband in order to go to the concert. And if you didn't have a wristband, then you wouldn't be able to be seated in the area. So, like, we, like, rushed to eat our food and we rushed back. We were able to get, like, the second seating out of 4, which was great. And it also, the seating also wasn't really an issue because they had a big forward area. So that people could stand and do Wotege if they so chose. So then you just, like, chilled out for a little bit and then went into the concert. And unfortunately, I left early because I was so tired from doing. I think I did Wotege that morning. I only had really one big meal. I didn't sleep a lot the previous night, and so I really just didn't want to. I really didn't want to push myself because another reason why I left is because I thought that they were going to record the concert. But I didn't know that the concert wasn't going to be recorded. So afterward, I'm like, oh, damn. I missed out on, like, Yusan's performance and Kizuna Ai's performance. And I'm like, oh, no. But it's okay. It's okay because I know that they're doing great, you know? Yeah, I wish they advertised the wristbands for the concert better. I think it's just, it's growing pains. I mean, it's the first time that they were at this convention center, and for all the things that, like, could have gone wrong, I think it went really, like, smoothly regardless. So that small thing, it's like, yeah, they could have done a better job advertising it, but also they were still able to get the word out. So they streamed the concert, so shouldn't it be recorded? I actually don't know, because I know last year's Off-Kai Live wasn't recorded. So I'll have to look into that because I would love to watch a recording. And the next day was the last day of Off-Kai. I don't remember if I woke up early. Oh, I slept in a little bit, which was nice. The VOD can't be posted, but I'm sure it's out there. Okay, thank you, Curation. That's good to know. I will find it. The third day, I didn't. I was supposed to go to the 12 o'clock seating, but I gave my ticket away to someone else because they weren't able to get a seating. And so I realized this after the fact, but I did not advertise because I had advertised people to go to the same time slots that we were, just so that we could all have fun together. But I didn't advertise that I wasn't gonna go on the second day. So for those of you guys who went on the second day and expected to see me, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I said hi to a couple of you before actually going into the cafe, but I hope you guys still had a good time. Oh, and then I didn't have much in the afternoon, but I did schedule a meetup that day. And yeah, I was really nervous for it because it was something that I was hosting, but also later on in the day, which meant that I couldn't stop thinking about it until it actually happened. And that's just the way it is. It's called waiting mode, where it's like you're like paralyzed, like you can't do anything until the actual event that you're worried about happens. So now that I think about it, the looming dread, exactly. Now I think about it, I should have scheduled it earlier on in the day. But it is what it is. You know what? I probably should have been writing down like all the little bullet points here instead of just keeping this blank. Well, it is what it is. And then, so I got there early. And then what I didn't know is that some of the Wotege people had scheduled like an Anikura, had scheduled an event, and then also the Wisps had scheduled an event. And it was all in the same location. And so the leaders actually came up to me and started talking to me. I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're here for. And then they're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have our stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like have your thing. And then I realized it was because they had all decided to do it in the same area that they like came up to me and talked to me, because like, yeah, we don't want to step on your toes because we know that you had this event. And I'm like, oh no, you guys don't have to. No, you guys are so considerate, but you guys don't have to worry about me. Yeah, like you guys do your thing, and then I'll do my thing too, and then we can all like have our same things in the same area for sure. And then we ended up not being in that same little like corridor there, but just around the corner, which ended up working out because it there was a lot less like noise in that corner. But then I had my meetup. Yippee! Thank you so much to those of you guys who came. I really just wanted it to be a moment with like a moment to share with you guys. Since you guys come out to my streams, I wanted it to be like an appreciation moment as well. Be like, thank you for coming to my streams, and I would love to meet you guys in person so I can put faces to names and chat. And it was a great time because I pulled out a game, and thank you guys for continuing the game while I was like rushing and doing my checkies. What we had done is that because I got there early, we had played a little bit of games, and as people started coming in as well, we were playing games. But then towards the end, we were sort of running out of time, and so I was like, okay, let's have these games going, and then in the middle, then I'll take like pictures with people. I'll take checkies with people. And yeah, and Roku actually like posted his, if you guys took checkies with me, post it on Twitter so I can see it. Also because I want to learn how to decorate them better. So if I could see how I did them before, then I could be like, okay, this is what I want to do for next time. Honestly, that's the main reason. But I also want to see your guys' pretty faces. Let's see. Boop. Oh, I saw him. Oh! Lamal, I pulled it up on the wrong page. Give me a sec. Ah! Roku had a Batsu. And so I made him pose like a cat. And take the checkie of it. Yippee! It was my first time decorating checkies. I actually, I really wanted to do the checkie deco because when I went to the Idol event, like the Milky Way Marketplace one and the Idol Jam one, like I was able to see like the idols have their bupan time, which is like the time where they take pictures and they talk with their fans, and I sort of wanted it to be the same with mine. I had seen how it had went there, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could maybe I could do that too. and it happened, and it was a really like magical moment because in the back of my head, I was also like, no one can come. And I'm like, if no one comes, then that's also okay. But I really hope people people come out. And they did. And so I was able to give out the little stickers, which I'm really happy about, and then take checkies with you guys. Yeah, I need to post my checkie. It was a fun meetup. I'm glad you had fun. It was really nice getting to meet you, Scarlett. Thank you for coming. And then Miss Fist, thank you for being my right-hand person, taking the checkies for me. Like I didn't even think about that I need someone to take the checkies while I'm actually there. And Miss Fist was like, just tell me what to do. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Miss Fist, you're the best. Thank you. And it was, shoot, I don't remember his name, but I know he's from Australia. He was there. And then, Sop was there, and Albin was there, and then Koyu came out for a little bit to take a checkie, which I'm really happy that she did. It was so funny. I actually got to, Jaith? Thank you, Brendan. Brendan, thank you for being there. It was great to see you again. I saw you briefly at the Maid Cafe line. And then Roku was there. It's funny. It's funny because like this guy was there because he was there for like the other Wisps events, and he's like, well, I have to go. I'm like, oh, here, let me take a checkie with you. And then after I took the checkie, he was just like, I actually feel really bad for taking this checkie with you because I don't know who you are. I just sort of showed up, and then you like welcomed me here, and I'm just like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Well, I hope you ended up having like a good fun experience because it's just for fun. And then he's just like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, I'm PastelSoni on Twitter. And he was just like, oh, I've seen you around before. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So you know who I am, sort of. I'm like, wow, that's great. It's like my reputation precedes me sort of moment. But I am also still proud of the accomplishments that I've done in the community. Jaith is right, Jaith, okay. The meeting was chaotic but fun. I'm glad that we ran into each other before then to have a little chit chat though. Yeah, when we were waiting in line for the spit and greet. Oh, did that happen? I think the spit and greet happened... Oh shoot, I don't actually know when that happened in the timeline. I don't remember. But yeah, it was actually nice to be able to catch up then. Sorry that I couldn't like spend more time like talking individually with you guys. That was the plan, but then I also realized that 1 hour is just not long enough. 1 hour is a very short period of time, so. But I'm still glad. I'm so glad that you guys showed up and you guys bared with it. Thank you for your patience. I was able... Oh, the spin greet was on Friday. Okay. So I didn't get a wristband for the spit and greet. I also wasn't able to make it into the Fem Nani line, which was really crazy. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, Miss Vis, you also posted yours. I forgot. Evie! That's the one with Miss Vis. You know what? As I was decorating it, we were making a heart. But I totally forgot to decorate it like a heart, and I did those little weird pink squiggles, and I'm like, why did I do that? Now I know to decorate them better next time. Oh, yeah, and then I also cosplayed my VTuber. Yippee! It's so funny because I ended up bringing one stocking by accident. And I'm like, fuck it, we ball. And then I was just like, you know what? VTubers are asymmetrical all the time. I really like my cosplay. I know it's not like a one-to-one, like, it's not a one-to-one of my actual VTuber model, but I feel like, well, one, I think it would be more difficult to do with the ears and the hair because like my model has just so much hair and it's I don't know how to get that kind of volume on regular wigs. But I think it pretty much just sends the same message that I'm cosplaying my VTuber. It was actually like it was really awesome to be cosplaying my own VTuber Kai, because I know we had talked about it a couple months back, and that's when I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. It's sort of like, I mean, everyone cosplays their VTuber at the VTuber convention, right? And I'm like, I don't want to be that person. But then you guys are like, but that would be super cool. I want to see you in your VTuber cosplay. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I committed and I did it, and it like, I don't know, it's just really crazy being like, having started streaming after Gen 2. Yeah, streaming after Gen 2, and then streaming during Gen 3, and then coming back to Gen 4, cosplaying my VTuber, I think is really cool. Really, really cool. The asymmetrical curse. Actually, the asymmetricality, I think, is actually a very great design aspect that is really utilized by VTuber mamas. And that's something that I want to do more, because I'm very much like, when I design things, it's very rigid. There's a lot of symmetricality, but a lot of the best art and a lot of the best work is not symmetrical, is not all organized and neat. And that's something that I'm trying to learn myself when I do like decos and stuff like that. So actually having like the asymmetricality on my VTuber was pretty good, pretty representative. It totally captured the spirit though. Yeah, I think so too. I'm really happy that I put it together. I actually bought a long pink wig to use for my cosplay, but I just didn't have the time to actually I didn't have the time to actually style it to be able to use it for my cosplays. I just like, it's okay without it. And then this actually wasn't the image that I was trying to look for. Oh, true. Going backwards a little bit. This was from the Chili's meetup. I actually started it. Everyone's like pose. Everyone's like peace signs, and afterwards I'm like, all right, we flip off the Yoshi, and everyone flipped off the Yoshi. Oh my god, 3.4k views. That's crazy. Oh, and this was from the first night. Everyone just sort of came together. Oh my god, the camera's so shaky. Literally running into that crowd of people and then just doing the Kahen Sanren was so much fun, because it's like, oh my god, I totally know what this is now. Rather than last year, like being able to do it but not really knowing the significance in idol culture. I guess I didn't retweet it. Hold on. You know what is funny though is that I saved the picture. All right. This picture. So it was so funny because the same day that oh, that's right. Yeah. So Fem Nani would have been on Friday. The same day that I was helping Bala take those pictures was the same day that Nani dressed up as Fem Nani. He looked so good. I love how he put in so much effort to make the cosplay come together, and it really like brought together the whole look. Like he could have had the meet and greet and then just like showed up in like something, right? But he did the full cosplay, he did the full makeup, he had the wig, like he committed to the bit, and that's what's great about Nani. And so it was really cool. And I didn't take a picture with him, even though we were waiting in line together for like an hour. And I'm like, how did I forget that? Because I wasn't able to go to the actual meet and greet. But it was still fun. And then we had the spit and greets, and so I wasn't supposed to go, but then Bala was really gracious in letting us share her ticket because someone had given it to her. And then she was just like, well, there's a lot of us who couldn't make it in, so then we're all gonna try to do it. And not gonna lie, we did sort of like force our way in there, but we were quick as promised. Like literally it was just Bala who asked the question, like, will you marry me? Because she had a fan that said, will you marry me? And then we all just got down on one knee and then proposed with sample cups. It was freaking Tuna. It was Tuna that brought the hold on, what are they called? Wait, were you in the Splash Zone group with Orca and the others? I was. And then Ducky ended up making this picture afterward. It's so cute. It's so cute. And so it was so funny because it was Tuna that had the idea of having the specimen cups. And so like, and then while we were in line, I'm just like, wait, what if we all went down on one knee with the specimen cups? And then that's what we ended up doing. And so it was Orca, Tuna. Tuna had a picture of Maple, and then it was Bala, Ducky, and then me. Yeah, we were in and out. We were just like, will you marry us? And then we got spit on and we took the picture and then we left. and then Tuna actually like kept the specimen cups with the water with the spit on it and be like, I have the spit in the cups, and I'm like it was a great time. I got to talk to so many people in line too. I think Brendan, that's when we talked for a little bit. That's when I was able to see Roku for a little bit. And that was when I really got to talk with Orca. And then man, I really hope to see Tuna again at another convention. It was really great to meet him. He was really fun to hang out with. And then of course Bala. I hope to spend time with Bala at another convention as well. We'll come back. We'll run it back for Gen 5, baby. Woo! I think we're almost to the end of Offkai. Need more snacks. Starting to get hungry. We've also been yapping for a solid 3 hours. Oh my god, we still have AX to talk about. And then I don't know, maybe I'll save AX for another time. I don't want to push myself too hard because I have work tomorrow. Praying for my wallet to make it happen again next year. Oh my god, was it that bad, Brendan? Was it really hard? Hi, Soni. Hello, Wilson. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. We're just hella yapping. Solid 3-hour yap stream so far. Cafe, food with friends, and then oh yeah, so then on Saturday after I had my meetup, then I went back to the maid cafe, and then I got to do my second seating at the maid cafe, and that was really awesome because I was like I was the only one who knew how to do like calls and mixes and motage in that seating, and so I was like, all right, I gotta bring it because I'm the representative. I gotta bring it. But I tried not to. Well, I did what I learned. I did what I knew, and again, like a big part of the community is if like you don't know, then don't do it. Because like specifically for like calls and mixes, you don't want to do something that's not within the beat of the song, or that like doesn't like fit in certain sections. And so I tried my best to do just with what I knew, and then I stayed silent for the other ones, but I'm like, I have to represent. Hello, Salty! Welcome to stream! We are yapping. Right now it's about off-kai. Oh yeah, Salty, it was great to see you at the Maid Cafe again. I'm so happy that I was able to finally give you a Pomu headband. It was a long time in the planning, and I'm so happy that you wore it at the Maid Cafe to represent. I was able to see Maid Belle again do the Mighty Dean routine, so I was a little more prepared. I was happy about it. It was great to see you too. Thank you for the headband, now a treasured item. Yippee! I'm so happy. Oh, this one. So it was also, oh yeah, it was also my birthday that Sunday. I had been so like focused on like, okay, we're gonna celebrate my birthday on stream, that I didn't even think about the physical day, and it was actually someone who reminded me, and I'm just like, oh. So yeah, thank you for coming to my meetup / birthday party. And then at the Maid Cafe, I got the ultimate checky. Ta-da! I had a checky with all the maids. Because it was my birthday, but also they were just like, oh, like a senpai maid is here, and so let's take like a big checky to like commemorate that. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah. The ultimate picture. Actually, whoever was left over, because some people had already like left the cafe at that point, but everyone who wanted to be there and who could was there, and so I was really happy about that. A lot of the returning maids that I had worked with last year was like, you should do the Maid Cafe again. We would love to see you at the Maid Cafe again. And I'm like, oh, I really want to do it now. None of you guys are safe for me to come back. Yeah. Oh, and then I went out to go eat with friends, and then we had this really good ramen. And it was really funny because one of our friends was like, oh yeah, I have to be at the airport in like 45 minutes. And we just arrived at the eating spot, and we're like, what? And we're just like, why didn't you say anything? We would have gotten food closer. So we were like, nom, 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 nom. We were just eating our ramen, but it was also like my first sit-down meal of the weekend. Other than like the food that was at the sofa, like the sofa? I forget. The sofa food court. So it was so great. But I'm like, damn, when I go to San Jose, I know there's good food and I want to eat good food, but because I didn't have like a car or anything, I felt really much stuck to that downtown area with the sort of mid food, and I'm like, I'm not experiencing all the food that I should be. The next year, I hope to actually like dedicate time. I will, if no one can drive, then I will take an Uber. I will take an Uber to go get good food, because I'm not gonna go to San Jose again and not get good food. You know what I mean? And then when I came back, then it was the Moso box. So then I literally like ran out of the car. And then I got to the Moso Box performance area. I'm like, wow, everyone I know is here, and it just sort of jumped right in. It was really funny because like the first song that had played was Naruto. It was Fighting Dreamers, and so we were all like we all like ran in that area to Fighting Dreamers. We are fighting dreamers. That was really fun, and it was really fun to be there with everyone too. And then to see Huni perform, yay! Huni love! Week-long trip to San Jose to get to all the food places and still have time for a convention. Honestly, staying a week in the Bay doesn't sound bad at all. It sounds like a great trip. I guess I should say South Bay. It's not technically like the rest of the Bay, but yeah, I would love to just go and I would literally just go out and eat food all day. And then Moso Box ended, and I think people were gonna go like, yeah, I'm looking at you, Paper. Now you know next time. Tell us ahead of time. When you have a plane flight soon. I mean, it worked out that your plane flight ended up getting delayed, but that was so funny. Me? We went out to dinner and you did not tell us when your flight was. Oh, well, I forgot. Oh, so funny. I ended up working out great though. We ended up still being able to eat food and everything I thought I did. Yeah. This is okay. There's a Tehepero. Okay, so there's a really funny story. This happened at like AILA earlier this year, but I had been giving Paper like a lot of my Nikke stuff because he still plays Nikke and I don't play Nikke anymore. And I didn't know this, but he had wanted to get me like something back as like a thank you. Don't say anything, Paper. I want to explain this story. So then like at the convention, he brought this this really cool looking ring, and I think I ended up showing it on stream after like a AILA after the convention stream. I ended up showing it. I don't know where it is now because it's in my box of like all my shit that I have to go through. But he shows me this really cool ring, and it's a face hugger, right, from Alien, and I love Alien. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. He's like, yeah, I bought it at a store like close by, and I also bought this like Jason ring. And it was funny because he was cosplaying Jason at the time, and so I didn't really think anything of the ring because I'm like, oh cool, it's just like it might have been like a buy one get something deal. You just end up having to have that ring, and you're just showing me because like you know that I like Alien. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. And then shoot, it's been so long, I don't remember the order. I think he had me try it on. So I put on the ring, I'm like, yeah, it's a little big, but I'm like, yeah, it's expected to be big because like, I mean, your fingers are much wider than mine, so of course it's gonna be big on me. And he's like, oh, okay. And then we go our separate ways and then just do the rest of the con, right? And then I see him the next day, and he has the ring again. And I'm like, why do you have this ring? And he's like, here, try it on. And I try it. I'm like, he's like, does it fit? I'm like, yeah, it fits a little better. And then I take it off and I give it to him. I'm like, why you have me try it on? He's like, it's for you. And then I'm like, what? wait, what? And I'm like, that's why you were asking in group chat about like people's like ring sizes. I was like, there is no way. And so a couple weeks back, he was asking everyone just generically, what is your ring size? And I just didn't respond because I didn't think it pertained to me. And he also didn't follow up with it, so I didn't think it was important. But Paper remember you could have just sent it in the text. I need everyone to send me your ring size right now. I think the crazy part is just how clueless I was about this whole process. I was like, oh, that makes sense. I really have main protagonist denseness. It's really bad. It's chronic. Yes, that was my oopsie. So then, and then going back to Muscle Box, and then I think people were going to like party afterward too, but like, nah, I'm tired, so I went back to my room, and I think I went home the next day. And it's definitely I wanted to keep it a secret to not spoil anything. If I was any smarter, I would have figured out that it was a surprise, but I did not. I still appreciate the ring. Thank you again for the ring. I need to find it so that I can actually like wear it with an outfit, you know? Oh, you know what? It's in with all of my alien collection. It's in the same box with like my alien collection stuff, so. And yeah, I had a lot to pack. I did not have any time to go to the artist alley, and that made me really sad. I had been trying to be really good about spending too, so I was like, oh good, I didn't go through artist alley, so I didn't end up buying anything. But then when I went to AX, I realized, oh shoot, I should have, like, Offkai artist alley would have been so much better to find mint stuff and VTuber stuff, because it's just VTuber focused rather than going through all the stalls at AX trying to find VTuber stuff. And so next year I definitely will prioritize time to go through Artist Alley for sure. And then ta-da! These are all the mint things that I got from that weekend. Oh my god, I love this art print. Albin had this commissioned and printed. It's so pretty. Oh my god, it reminds me of what's her name from Howl's Moving Castle, Sophie. Oops, I think Maple put a post like he wanted to know who ended up getting his postcard. I was one of the recipients of the postcard. Yippee! So the really cute Minto postcard. And then this was from Lynn's. I really wanted these stickers because Lynn's art is so nice. And then Tuna gave me one of his stickers. So now I have the Matara one. I bought the Matara one from the Matara merch drop, and now I can match it with Mint. And then let's see. Oops. Tuna. Ooh, I don't remember who did this one. I know it's someone I know. That one looks like Sup. Tuna. Tuna's self-representation of himself is really funny. That's another Tuna one. I think this is this also Lynn's? I actually don't remember. This was Koyu. I think this is Ducky. Ducky, I think that one. Okay, there's your Checky post. Yeah, I did it. Oh, I don't even remember when I sent it. But yes, please, if you took a Checky with me, please post it so I can see it again. Yeah, the art style looks like Ducky. Okay, yeah, so then that's a Ducky sticker. So, I'm really happy with my little Minto collection here. And then at AX, I actually spent at AX and money? What is money? What is money when you're going through Artist Alley, for real? We are fighting. It's stuck in my head. La, 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 la. Alright, so there is still, we're not done! Anime Expo. So I think I'm gonna save Anime Expo for another stream. I'll talk about it some other time because I don't think I have any more energy to talk about another big event. But Anime Expo was really fun. I wasn't planning on going to Anime Expo because I had actually thought I was gonna work that weekend. And so, gotta run to eat, so won't be active. Have a nice stream, Soni. It was really nice to edit with the stream. Knives, thank you for coming. Thank you for staying so long and listening to me yap. Oh, AX, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that one another day. There's a lot that happened at AX too. But enjoy your meal. I have to go eat soon too because I'm starting to get hungry. But yeah, I didn't plan for AX this year because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to go because I had anticipated working that Saturday. But I didn't, and so I literally planned to go to AX the week before, and then it ended up working out really, really, really nicely, and I'm just so happy. And I'm so grateful for my friends who like were able to accommodate me to make this happen. So yeah. Yeah, so the timeline, so like Offkai Expo happens so this was the week before Offkai, right? So Monday I had orientation for my new job. Tuesday I had orientation with a little bit of like actual like work at my new job. Wednesday I had to work at my new job and I left for Offkai. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday I went back to work. I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was 4th of July. I left Thursday night after work so that I could go. I left straight from work and then went to the VTuber concert that night. And then I went to Anime Expo the next day. I went to Anime Expo on Saturday. I came back early because I needed to rest. Unfortunately, that meant I missed out on Virtual Vacation concert. Sunday I rested, and then I did a week. Wait, no, that timeline's wrong. Hold on. Offkai Expo. I came back on Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday, I came back on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I moved that weekend. Went to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I went to Offkai Expo. Then I went to Anime Expo. It was crazy. The timeline was actually crazy. I don't know how I was able to start a new job in the middle of all of this. And I mean, I was so tired during these conventions, and so it really, really makes sense like why I was so tired. I look back to it again. Yeah, moving in the middle here, and then now we're like the last like 2 weeks, and even still I haven't had a completely quiet weekend since these events. Must be Superman flying back and forth like that. Honestly, when you're so busy that you don't have time to think, there's actually like there is like a blessing to that, in the sense where that you don't have time for like to worry about bullshit. You just do it. You just go and do it, because if you don't do it in that time period, then you're not gonna be able to do it at all, right? So now that things have slowed down a little bit, I'm actually like, things are starting to like settle in, but that also means like other things are starting to creep in the peripheral, and I'm like, get that out of here. So there is a blessing to being that incredibly busy, but I definitely feel it like a month, I guess like 2 weeks out from a crazy month. Definitely feeling like the fatigue starting to really like really creep in, and so I really have to start taking care of myself, because if not, I don't want to crash out so early, you know. Just do it, exactly. Yeah, I say that concludes today's yap session. 3 hours and 20 minutes, almost 3.5 hours. Wow. Thanks for the Soni recap. I hope you guys had fun listening to my stories. I love recapping them And I love just like sharing all like the crazy, like wacky fun times. Yippee! I am gonna take the rest of today to unpack some of my boxes. I haven't touched some stuff since I moved in here, and so I gotta... It'll make me feel a lot better once I have some of that stuff out, you know? And it's really funny because like I talked to a friend recently who had moved like within the past couple months. I'm like, you still have a bunch of boxes everywhere? Why haven't you done it? And now that it's my turn, I'm like, oh. Like, oh. I should not be judging them. Because now I know how difficult it is to actually take the time to unpack. So I'm gonna go do that now. But I guess I'll open the floor right now. Do you guys have anything interesting that happened in the past month? Or if you have any like questions about anything that I've talked about so far. The table turns. The table does indeed turn, and it smacks you. Oh, I've also been really into umamusume. I haven't been a part of 2D idol culture before. I've actually, like, I had heard about the Love Live craze as it was happening, but I never, like, participated in it. And I didn't know that's where a lot of people, like, got their start. And so now that I'm getting into umamusume and I'm seeing the appeal of, like, 2D idols, I'm like, this is awesome! And a part of me is like, dang, I wish I had got into it sooner, but then at the same time, I'm like, nah, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. Anything interesting? I learned how to mix drinks. That was cool. Oh, is there like a special... Well, I know that each drink has like a different amount of like stuff in it, right? But is there something that you learn that like in general works for every drink? Like, I'm thinking like you learn how to mix drinks. Like, is there like a general thing to keep in mind? And the Uma rabbit hole, so interesting how many people got grabbed by it. I think especially now that I'm more familiar with idol culture, it became a lot easier for me to like latch on to it. Because it's very difficult for me to... I feel like it's very difficult for me to get into like 2D characters. Just because characters are not people, you know? Like people are a lot... I guess characters can represent like real people, but I guess I've always understood real people more than characters. But I think maybe it's just having to get into idol culture first that made the transition easier for me. Yeah. Oh, I only learned how to make certain drinks as I was helping with the rodent party room at Offkai. Oh, so you were the bartender at a room party. That's cool. It was a neat learning experience, even if it was limited. Yeah. You gotta start somewhere, right? Because there's no way you can just learn like a ton of menu items at one time. Like, the room parties would then have very specific menus, and you'd be able to like repeat that, practice it. Oh, yippee! Scarlett, you posted it. Thank you. Let's... Boosh. Oops. Eh. A month is fine. You know, I feel that. Having it be like a month later, yeah. Honestly, I was so drained after Offkai. I'm like, I can't. Like, there are so many things that I talked about after the fact. Yippee! Yeah, this one was a cool pose. You're like, yeah. In the sticker. Yay! I'm so happy. Umas are cute, but I got pulled in because of the roguelike gameplay. I've never played a roguelike before. And so this is a very interesting experience to me. It definitely like feels addictive because you just want to keep training your umas, right? But I actually like I can only play maybe 1 or 2 playthroughs in one sitting. Because if I do anything more than that, then I start like dissociate. No, that's not the word for it. It's like it feels like I'm getting full. I'm still compelled to play the game, but I don't get as much enjoyment out of it, I think is what I'm trying to say. If I do like more than one or two like I'm kind of embarrassed to post mine. The shirt I'm wearing along with the post seemed to add like 20 pounds on me. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. I'm happy to know that you have the checky. That's fair. One career playthrough takes a bit of time, so moderation is good. Yeah, because I like hunkered down, I think this weekend, and played maybe like 3 or 4 in one sitting, and I'm like, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna burn out on the game, and it's gonna lose its fun for me. So as much as I do want to grind the event, I can't force myself to grind that much. But the umas that I like so far. So Taiki Shuttle was my first 3-star. I really like Taiki. I think I like her Genki energy. She's very cute. I like Spitchan a lot too, because she's just Spitchan is just adorable. But the 2 umas that and I know about I know about Spitchan from the anime. I still have to finish that. Taiki Shuttle. I learned a lot about Taiki Shuttle through using her, but recently, because I'm trying to do a gameplay I'm trying to do a career for all the umas that I have. I got to learn a little bit about Super Creek and Winning Ticket, and I love them. I think they're so cute. And so I can't wait to do more. Because I've really only done maybe 1 or 2 playthroughs with each girl, because I'm trying to do one for each. I get to eat dinner soon. Yippee! I'm very excited. I'm very excited to eat. Cool. So I think we'll end today's stream here. We'll do a continuation stream where we do more yapping. I do want to do some karaoke. In the 2 months, I learned about Epic the musical and got really into Epic, and so I want to sing some Epic songs. And then I want to do like a model kit building. That I have. Oh, she's actually on my floor there. I have to go grab her. Nice nature story about feeling like a side character pushed her into the top spot for me. That's so interesting. I didn't know that about Nice Nature. I think Nice Nature to me is just like, it's just another Uma that's there. But that is precisely why her character story is like that. So that's Yippee part 2. Yippee! Thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I don't know when that will be, so I'll just post about it beforehand, and then I'll see you guys there. Bye everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. Ready. Ending screen time. Yippee! Hold on. Wait. I'm back. Hold on. wait. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Hold on. Secret ending. So, I had talked about how Dan was the one who had suggested like doing like the waiting screen and the ending screen, but I also just wanted to go through like the different poses and stuff. I guess I'll deep dive more into this. No, because I know once I start talking about it, I'm gonna want to start talking about it more. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna briefly go through it right now. Oh shoot, I forget I have to look up people by their full by their full tag on Twitter, or also just bring me up some random person. So we're gonna go on to Dan's page. This makes me so happy. So, for those of you guys who didn't see it, Dan made my figurine, which first of all looks so amazing. I love how he was able to capture the elements of my VTuber while still making it his own, giving it a unique design, but also like the color choices. Like I love whatever this material is, this holographic material that adds some blue and purple to the design. I think it really incorporates it as like a magical girl design, but also it just like, again, because my VTuber is just so monochromatic, it really like breathes life into her. And so I just want to go over these pictures very briefly because they're so cool. And so I had given him like a bunch of references, and I'm like, okay, so this is how I imagine my figure. So when she is using the staff is gonna be for like pretty poses, very like magical girl, like very idol-esque. And then when she actually has her sword, then she like isn't afraid to use that sword, you know? So she can look really like delicate and very fun when using the staff, but then when it's sword time, it's sword time. And again, he was the one who had recommended to have 2 different forms, and I'm like, holy shit, Dan, like you're so like correct for having so many crazy like and fun ideas. It's awesome. Yeah, so he was the one who suggested the staff first, and I'm like, I actually like a big ass sword, and he's just like, I can make both, and I'm like, whoa. The bunny staff was so cute. Actually, okay. Ding! So, this was the concept design that he had initially drafted. And as you can see, like it looks different from the finished product. But it's still, but it still has those elements that are in like the final design here. And so it was so cool to see, like, and he even told me, he was just like, as I'm making this thing, it is going to look different from this. This is just a concept design. And the same thing here. This is the normal form and the sunshine form. Look at how he made this look like a bunny head. And then this is so cool. It's just so cool. So then, boop. I hope you guys don't get sick of seeing this figure more than once, because I will talk about it again. I don't know how he does this. He must do, like, he does do, like, the photo editing. So he must position the figure and then, like, take out if there's, like, a stand or something. If you actually look closely at the figure, it's reflective, right? So the figure itself is made out of cardboard, but what he does for each piece is he wraps it in fabric. And so that's what gives it the color. And then when you actually think about like how long it would take to do that for every individual piece is like crazy to me. Like whatever process he does, and he does them so fast too. I'm like, how the heck do you lock in? and you do like that much in such a short period of time. Really, really cool. Yeah. Look how he's able to capture like this. The pose not only demonstrates like seriousness, like the fact that she's like looking straight at the target, she's pointing the sword at the target, but the stance gives it competency. It's not just like some flimsy like stance as you're waiting to like actually attack. Like it looks like she's ready to attack someone. And the fact that he's able to capture that is like, wow. This looks awesome. Yeah, it makes the figure pop amazing. It's so cool. I was super happy when he offered to make my figure. I was like, what? You want to make my VTuber? And he was just like, yeah. And I'm like, this is so cool. Yeah. Oh my god, and he even made the hood. This was after posting pictures of my cosplay because my VTuber doesn't have a hood. The hood is based off of the cosplay that I made. The hood looks so good. Oh my gosh. A badass kick pose. Sheesh. And the punch too. Wow, so you can actually see the texture a little bit now here. Because I wonder, like, because when you think about making it, what you could do is cut out a big sheet. Like, you could have a big sheet of paper. Hold on. This is worth, like, hands. Okay, so you could have a sheet of paper, could cover this whole thing in fabric, and then just, like, glue. So it's like, let's say you have this much, sorry, this much of fabric sticking off the ends, right? So then you would just fold that over, and then you glue it. And then maybe you can cut out all the little pieces that you need in order to make, for example, like the hair pieces. So then the hair piece is like all, or actually it looks like he was able to use that same color for the rest of the outfit, which is really good. Because that just makes things easier on him. He doesn't have to use two different colors. So I wonder if he wraps the fabric on a big sheet of paper first and then cuts out the pieces, or if he cuts out the pieces of cardboard and then wraps the fabric around it to give it a cleaner. I would be like so appalled if he put in that effort to cut out each piece of cardboard and then wrap the fabric on top of it. Like, because that's a lot of work, but then that would also give you some cleaner edges. Like, if you look at the side of the hair, maybe he's able to cover like the whole thing and then cut it, because that would be like a lot less work. You know what I mean? I just love like looking at it so I could try to figure out like how he did it. And then of course I'm gonna ask him how he does it. and get the details on the specific figure. Look at the pose! It's like a knight's pose. Oh my god, even in the heart on the sword. And even like look at the detail on the sword. It has like that clear edge to it. So it's not just like a single sword, right? It actually looks like a beam of light. Oh my god. Look at this sick ass pose! And then you also have like another type of, he does like the different kind of lighting for it. Look how dynamic. It looks so real. Oh my gosh. There's the little bunny clip. Yeah. Yeah. So next time we come back, we'll go through all the photos because I want to look at all the photos. But I just wanted to look over some of it today because it's so cool. Okay. True ending. Again, go check out Dan's stuff. He's the best. He's so cool. Again, thank you all for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed the yap session. I'll see you guys for the next one. Okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.